What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapiche, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much for stopping by on this lovely, still very toasty Monday evening. Now, we normally, as we usually do, record on Sundays, but as sometimes happens, schedules kind of get in the way, and we need to push the show back to Monday. So we appreciate your guys' patience. I don't anticipate that happening this week. I'm sure we can still get our regular Wednesday show crack-a-lackin', unless there's something unforeseen happens, of course. But otherwise, you can expect a Wednesday show from us this week. So as always, we appreciate you guys' patience with our schedules because shit happens, you know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for being patient with us. We got plenty to talk about today. Let's go ahead and get down to the docket here, the agenda. Of course, the talk of the town. Rolly Romero putting his WBA welterweight championship on the line against Teofimo Lopez last Saturday here in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. I was not able to get to the weigh-in, so sorry about that, guys. But I do see that you guys responded to our shorts, or the shorts that I posted on here. 1,000 views, 1,200 views, stuff like that. So thank you guys for that. That's always appreciated. I try to get down there. It was specifically for the media workout, or media public workout. They don't really work out, frankly. They just do a quick interview, maybe some shadow boxing. But point is, I put some up there, which actually got us, I believe, 3 subscribers, 3 new subscribers. So again, thank you guys. Always appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content from that. But of course, we're going to be talking about the fight itself, right? We're going to be talking about what we thought of each of their performances. What we thought of the pay-per-view overall, the attendance, because the arena looked a little fucking empty. If you guys remember if you guys checked out the shorts that I posted and the videos, even, there wasn't a lot of people at this media workout or public workout, which kind of maybe was a bit of an omen for what the attendance was going to be like. Of course, it's still early. We don't know what pay-per-view numbers are yet, but we're going to be talking about that. Looks like the attendance, the way it looked like, at least inside the T-Mobile Arena. And then, of course, the decision, the victory, what we think of the decision and the scorecards, because, by and large, as long as the right guy wins, it's nothing big, but the scorecards are a little weird, to say the least. So we're going to be going over that. And then, of course, what's next for each one of these guys, and that's definitely going to be a long conversation, right? Seeing what's next. I'm even seeing already these guys planning their next fights, so that's something that we want to talk about, of course. That's what we're going to open the show with. That's the hot topic of the weekend. Next topic, more AJ Fury negotiations. I came across online a list of the demands, I guess, from Anthony Joshua, saying, "Hey, I need these demands met, and then we can have the fight in New York, in the U.S." Some of the stuff on here is a little strange. I know we clown about Matchroom, or specifically DAZN, and their competitive darts. What we're gonna read on this is pretty goofy. I hope you guys enjoy it, but I don't know where this list came from, but it was funny as hell when I first saw it. I'm like, no, this can't be it. But we're gonna be talking about it because it's goofy ass shit and it's funny. But according to this, this is what is needed to make sure that the fight happens in New York. All right, in the U.S., I should say. Mike Coppinger has announced that there are 2 fights in the works. We'll get to them here shortly. One of them is a little important because it just so happens to be in the welterweight division, which was, of course, on the spotlight this past weekend with ROLLY and Teofimo. So that's going to be pretty important. And of course, the return of one fighter and what his next fight will be. As a matter of fact, we just talked about it like literally on the last show, which is kind of strange because I'm hearing conflicting information. So we're going to throw in our 2 cents of what we think is correct or not correct, or maybe which one we think it will or will not happen. On that topic, it looks like Xander Zayas is going to be coming back at middleweight, which is kind of funny because for at least the last year or so, we've been talking about how wide open the middleweight division has been, and really anybody can come in and claim it. Well, we got Xander Zayas trying to do that, and a couple of other names, one of which is in that previous story. So it's kind of funny that kind of overnight, almost the middleweight division is kind of popping again, or it could potentially be, because again, until these guys fight one another, it's really nothing. But we're gonna be talking about that, of course. Jose Benavidez Sr. posting online that he has been texting Turki Al Sheikh, asking for a David Benavidez Cinco de Mayo slot, but his opponent is kind of a weird one. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about this. We can throw in our 2 cents of what we think. Kind of unique, but from what I can tell, it looks like maybe Turki might not be interested, but it certainly seems as though Team Benavidez is very interested in it. You guys stick around and we'll let you know who that is, of course. This past weekend, before Teofimo and ROLLY, on Friday, Amanda Serrano stepped into the ring for her 50th, to earn her 50th victory, because she did come out of the victory, but she didn't come out of it unscathed. As a matter of fact, the decision might have gone the other way. We're going to be talking about that, because it was not just big in the sense that Amanda Serrano's 50th victory, had she won by knockout, she didn't. She won by decision. We'll talk about that in a second. But had she won by knockout, it would have, I think, broken the record, or actually set a new record for the most knockouts in a women's boxing career. But that didn't happen. And also monumental, because it was the first event live on TikTok. We're going to be talking about the numbers, because I was able to look them up and I found some numbers on there. We'll discuss whether or not the numbers are good or bad, or hell, we'll discuss whether that decision was good or bad. And we're going to end up closing the show at the end with a couple of topics. Well, I should say a fan comment, as we like to do whenever our fans interact with us. We like to kind of shout them out and, of course, respond to them, because we always like hearing from you guys, and whenever we do hear from you guys, we want to take advantage of it and engage with you guys as much as possibly we can, because you're the ones that listen to the show, right? And we appreciate it, and we always take you guys' feedback into serious consideration. So we'll definitely be bringing that up here towards the end of the show. All right, so before we actually get into the topics, as always, a quick word from our video sponsor, Health y Sol, or Health Y Sol, tallow-based products. Make sure to check them out. If you happen to find anything you want to try, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get the same 10% off. As I always say, lavender patchouli is my favorite scent, so make sure to check them out. They have sunblock, I believe they have soap, and then lotions, etc., etc. So make sure to check them out. All tallow-based natural products, Health y Sol or Health Y Sol. Check them out. Alrighty, so after that intro, ROLLY Romero versus Teofimo Lopez. If you guys didn't watch the fight, I'm hearing a lot of people just plainly didn't, but Teofimo Lopez came away with the victory, and I believe it was specifically a majority decision victory, meaning one judge had it a draw while the other two had it for Teofimo Lopez, one a little wider than the other. But ultimately, Teofimo Lopez came away with the decision, earning a championship in a third weight class, 147 pounds. He was the lineal champion at 135. Should have been undisputed, but some sanctioning body BS that went down there. Regardless, became the lineal champion at 140 pounds, and then has since moved up and captured a championship at 147, the WBA welterweight title. Taking it, snatching it from the grip of one ROLLY Romero, or did he really, or was it just Romero handing the damn belt over? If you guys take a look at these judges' scores, it's pretty weird. I'd have to say that. So we'll be talking about that. But if you guys didn't catch it, Teofimo Lopez did come away with a victory and has secured his more of his legacy, right? A third weight champion, a three-weight champion, two of them previously lineal champs. During the post-fight press conference, he said, I'm not here to do, mandatory title defenses or anything like that. I want to unify. I want to be the undisputed champion at 147. Very admirable. If he wants to do it, that's going to be a lineal. If he gets it, of course, if he achieves it, undisputed / lineal champion in the third weight class. That's pretty significant. And it's what we thought Teofimo can get to, right? When he first beat Lomachenko, we thought, oh shit, this guy has at 23 or 24, whatever it was at the time, the opportunity. He's got perfect chance to become something, Hall of Famer kind of thing, 3-weight division champ. I'm sure that'll put his name up there, at least on the ballot at some point. But before we get into all of that, of course, Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you into the show here to get crack-a-lackin' on dissecting this fight. Please give us your 2 cents on number 1, Rolly Romero's performance, number 2, Teofimo Lopez's performance, and number 3, the decision at the end here.
What's up, dude? What's up, you guys? I would have been, I think, a lot. What's the right way? I would have been way more upset if I hadn't seen the scorecards. When I look at the scorecards, Miguel, I guess it is what it is about Romero lost the fight on his own, right? Because what pissed me off most about this fight, before I get into the fight itself, was the commentating during the fight. You hit this thing right on the head. You should have stuck with your guns about Lopez signed the strict deal with DAZN. They're going to play his ticket all the way to the top. And dude, it was really looking that way. That's why I kind of text you. I don't think Rolly ever had a fair shot on the cards.
Yeah.
With this one, we can bitch and moan about the last 2 rounds all we want. And he did lose a fight. I'm not going to come up here and say that he didn't, but he did not lose it in the way that DAZN tried to push it onto the people. And one thing that I can tell you guys about, whenever there's a fan favorite, a favorite in the fight, a favorite amongst all the insiders that is being pushed by the network, no one really ever argues, right? As long as their guy is winning, as long as everything that they said on their little podcast is coming true, what they wrote down on their little, thing for the fight, their prediction for the fight, as long as it looks like it's going to come out that way, fucking who cares how we get there, as long as we get there, right? And that's what I feel happened to Romero on Saturday in the first half of the fight. Not running. That was absolute bullshit. I mean, how dare these guys call what Romero was doing running? And if it was, then why wasn't Lopez cutting off the ring? Did we forget how to cut off a ring? Did we forget?
I'm not entirely sure he knows how. After seeing the way the Sandro Martin.
Well, then knock it. Then.
Yeah.
Stop praising the guy as coming forward and start saying what he could be doing better to get this fight a little easier for him. Let's keep it 100, right? Not just, Romero's backing up and one guy's coming forward and that's all I see here. Is that see? Well, that's all I see. One guy's coming forward, the other guy's going backwards. There's no way Romero could be winning this fight because he's going backwards way too. I mean, bro, someone should go. I don't smoke crystal meth, but one of our crystal meth users should really go back and grab all the sound bites of this fight and tell me how many actual highlights that they're screaming of Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo taking over a round, Teofimo landing a combo, Teofimo hurting him with the right hand or a left hook or a body. Oh, wait, there might have been some body shots, single body shots. Like, that body shot's really hurting. Really? That one shot? I seen one guy cut by a punch. Wasn't the guy who won. I seen one guy hurt by a left hook. Wasn't the guy who won. And I seen one guy hurt big time by a right hand. Damn near almost went down. Wasn't the guy that won. So I see where Romero's frustration is, right? Where he thinks he won the fight. Now, you were right on the DAZN part. I think I was right on the don't get outnumbered 8-1. Can't fall in that type of night. That's what he falls into at the end of that fight. And let's give Lopez credit that he made the adjustment midway to get out of the counter-punching fight that Rolly had him in. But the first, damn, bro, I got to at least say 6 rounds. This fight is 50-50. I had Romero winning. I'm not going to lie, dude. I had Romero winning that fight. I was fucking livid. How DAZN, what do they say? 3-1 in going into round 5 when he hurts him. They had him up 3-1. They had Lopez up. This is going to be a wash, Miguel. 3-1. The audience has him up. The audience has Romero up 70% to 30. I have Romero up. Yet here's the zone. No. 3-1 going into round 5. Crazy. I was like, damn, they really are going to do this. And they were. They didn't they didn't have to, but they were going to do it anyways. Believe that. I don't think Romero is ever going to get out of there with a decision victory. Now that I seen how they were talking, which is a damn shame too, because the zone would be better off allowing this ball just to roll instead of trying to force things. You always fuck things up when you force shit. The fight was good enough, I believe, for a rematch. Now, financially, I don't know. It might be a total shit show. And that's what happens when we're overpaying fighters, right? That's the Turkey effect that's going on right now, right? So it might have been a shit show financially. But as far as skill, as far as like, that was boxing in the first 6, you guys. Now maybe
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah, like the remaining 6. You know, how did that go as far as like Romero's output? Yeah.
I thought the power was still there. He hurts him with that left hook, like in round 7 or 8. Though it's at the end of the round. Do you remember that? He puts him on Wiggle Street at the end.
Yes. Yep.
Well, that's later on in the fight. So the power was clearly still there.
Sure.
Hurting Lopez. Hell, you know, if a judge can somehow determine a winner of the round by 2 points just off opinion, then why isn't a man on fucking Queer Street not an automatic point? Does that make sense what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
We allow judges to literally go, I think he got beat up too much that round. I'm giving an extra point. Yet we seen a guy totally wobble, and we're like, no. Well, he made the round. He made the round, so 1 point. I don't know who really won that round. Let's do the Max Kellerman. Who would you rather be in that moment?
All right. I know I'd rather be that guy.
I'd rather not be this guy walking, wiggling back to my fucking corner. I know that. So the power was still there.
Sure.
Lopez is a bad dude. He adjusted. He pulled out the majority of the last rounds, probably the last 3 rounds for sure, which got him the victory on the cards. The math was always going to math, though. Don't worry about that, Lopez. They literally told him in round 10, the zone was like, stare. Did he hear that? Do you think he heard that? If he doesn't, he's going to win. I mean, what kind of commentary was it? We were talking round 10, bro. Floyd Mayweather somewhere was like, damn, they're being hella hard on him. And Oscar somewhere was going, what the fuck? Round 10, we're telling the guy he's already won and he's the fucking challenger? He's the challenger. And they knew for sure in round 10, Lopez had that fight in the bag. Could you imagine if Lopez didn't win another round, 10, 11, and 12, loses a fight, what those 3 dipshits would have done ringside?
Yeah.
Been the worst commentating of all time. Who the fuck tells their guy 9 minutes out, you don't have to land another punch? No. That was all weird. They actually took away from the fight. I told you that. I actually checked out because it was like, he needs a knockout. So now I'm just watching for knockout. I'm not studying anything. Just, is the punch going to land? Is he going to hurt him? And he almost did. He almost did. He rocked him. He says numerous times. I seen twice. I don't know if I seen too many more times than the twice.
Yeah, one of them was really more so knocking him off balance, but it didn't look like he was dizzy or anything like that. It was towards the end where they caught him. It seemed like ROLLY was just hell bent on that check left hook, and he was able to land it a few times, one of which wobbled him bad towards the end of the round. One of them seemed to just knock him off balance and really not really hurt per se. But really, besides that one, and of course the big 5th round, I didn't see Teofimo get wobbled beyond that.
Okay, I will disagree. I thought both shots that he wobbled legitimately.
No, yeah. I'm saying there was a third one that
a third one. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
that
My
was more
bad.
so off balance one. But
Okay.
the two that you're talking about, yeah, definitely did.
Yeah. All right. I agree with that one then. So yeah, so then when the scorecards come out, dude, they literally had Romero up like fucking 5-1 going in around 6. So I'm good. I'm good, dude. The judges were at least judging that thing correctly because, bro, just because you move forward doesn't give you a fucking round. Pernell Whitaker would never win a fight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. would have never won a fight if the only thing you had to do is move forward against them. What? Did you ever hear them say in any of those guys' fights, oh, man, he just keeps moving back. He just keeps moving back. No, it's pure about when Shakur Stevenson does it. Yeah, he gets booed.
Yeah.
He gets booed from the crowd, but do they take rounds away from him? Do they act like he's losing the fucking fight? Bro, he was the champion and had Lopez nervous as shit in the beginning of that fight. Lopez didn't know what. He didn't know if it was a right hand or the check left hook coming, bro. And both wiggled them, meaning that both were doing their job. Both of those punches were landing. I thought Lopez had the game plan. Look, I'm going to knock Ishmael a little. And obviously, Lopez's dad is Lopez's dad. I mean, what the fuck? The guy said it again.
Hit him, bro. Hit him.
Yeah, can we just let that go? If he's never going to grow. Lopez is, Teofimo's never going to leave him. So we'll just leave that one alone, right? Ishmael, what was he? I mean, that whole, did they have a game plan? Because if your game plan was different than what ROLLY was doing, then this is the last time we've seen them fight together.
Yeah,
correct.
That's what it seems. That's what it seems, because every time ROLLY would go back to his corner, you can hear the sense of urgency and even maybe slight panic from Salas's voice. At one time in particular, that even DAZN pointed out, he was trying to get ROLLY's attention, and ROLLY is just kind of glazed over, like, dude, are you here with me? What the fuck's going on? So a couple of times when he went back to his corner, I got the impression that Salas was not liking what he was seeing.
Yeah, and I didn't understand why. That's what I didn't understand, though. It was almost if maybe somebody was in Salas's ear at home going, DAZN has him up 5-1. DAZN has him up. So then Salas is panicking, going, oh, no, I got to change our... Because if he knew his guy was up 5-1, would he be screaming the same shit? No. He would, right?
Yeah.
Right? So... Boo, maybe you want to keep your fucking friends off of your telephones or your assistants' telephones. Maybe all that shit coming from outside of what's going on in the ring needs to stay outside of the ring. I believe they got a phone call, and I'm not going to say a fix that someone called and said, hey, Lopez was supposed to win tonight. I think someone said, you guys are down. DAZN has you down. And he went in there, and all of a sudden, everything that seemed to be working fine, he's rocking the dude. He has the dude confused. Lopez is not throwing shit. You guys, like, he was walking forward, but he's not taking over any of this fight either. Like I said, give me the sound bite of the highlight. Do you guys notice that all the highlights were Romero's knocking the shit out of Lopez? That's kind of like, what? Look, I know people are going to hate me for saying it because we're supposed to have this IQ in boxing. Lopez might be the luckiest fighter when it comes to title wins, and his 2 fights with Lomachenko and now with Romero. Not a lot of offense by the young man. There's not a lot of highlights in either fight, bro. I sound like his dad. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he didn't throw enough, bro.
Yeah. In either fight, they don't have too many highlights of this dude landing combinations, yet here we are going to say he's a 3-division champ, Hall of Fame, one of the best, and I get it to a certain degree. But damn, there's not a lot going on in that fight for him, highlight-wise. And all I seen was them ragging on Romero. And I got to tell you guys, for those of you that don't remember or don't know, ROLLY Romero didn't talk for the first 8 years of his life.
Yeah.
Meaning ROLLY Romero might have He might be autistic, right? Autism, I think, is what they were saying. So how do we know that's why he doesn't space out? Doesn't mean he's not listening. Doesn't mean he's not, engaging. He's hearing you, obviously, but the guy didn't talk for 8 motherfucking years, bro. The guy's clearly an outcast, right? He's always doing the not talking. How many times this week did they put a microphone in front of him and he just, said something about either God or it was going to be a great fight or just walked away? I mean, he was not that much of an interview the whole time. So to see him in the fight respond that way was not like, oh, what's going on with Romero? No, know who you have as a fighter, Ishmael. They said the young man's autistic. Now you're like, he's not fucking listening to me. You sound like the impatient parent that didn't read up on what autistic children are. He was doing it 101, man, but he's listening. He didn't get to where he was by not paying attention. You understand? Now, I believe Romero was doing what he thought was going to win him that fight. I think Romero knows that if he went blow to blow with Lopez, Lopez's speed would put him down. He had to play the counter-punching game. And if you look at the official scorecards, it was working. Now, the adjustment does come. So shame on ROLLY for not readjusting or adjusting himself to get that fight back into his favor. But how the fuck are they saying there's no instant automatic rematch? He's the champ and he lost the title on a majority decision. Shame on Al Heyman if he did not get an automatic rematch.
I don't think there was. I'm almost certain somebody asked ROLLY during the press conference afterwards, asked him about a rematch clause, and he said no. But he said, "But I'm owed a rematch." That's pretty much the way he said it. So I don't know if there isn't a rematch clause. He's shot.
Yeah,
he's
stupid.
It's like when he says, like, I'm owed one. I'm like, bro, if it's not in the damn contract, homie, you're not owed one. Sorry.
No, you're not owed one, especially if the fight didn't do good financially. My question is, why wasn't it in there? How did he ever sign this fight without having an automatic rematch if the fight goes to a decision?
Right.
Because I believe if it's a knockout, you don't deserve one, right? Knockout is a knockout. But a majority decision in a fight that, I mean, hell, if you look at the scorecards and look at the audience going into round 5, they're pretty much dead on. 70% had Romero winning. Freaking the official scorecards have him winning. One judge has him winning 3 out of the first 5. The other guys have him winning 4. Can you believe they actually had the shit almost turned around? Am I lying when I say that?
I'm pulling up the picture that I have. I took a screenshot of it right now.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
4. And then 3. So, yeah, dude, totally winning the first part of this fight. You would think the fans would not be that upset if they really did bring this one back on a rematch clause that was in the contract. I wouldn't be mad about it. Honestly, I have the same feeling that I had when he beat Lomachenko. Yeah. But
right.
It wasn't that fucking exciting. It really wasn't. Not on Lopez's end. Give me the round that I'm missing. The takeover. When did that happen in this fight? Besides, one guy was moving backwards. The other guy couldn't pin him against the ropes. That should be a point on Romero's side. Guess it's not. Did real good for Floyd, though, when he would move back. Done great for Shakur. Not amongst fans. But the judges, and I got to give it to him, the judges didn't let him down. He let himself down. Romero in the second part of this fight, in the last 3 rounds, lets himself down. Now, why that happened, Miguel, most likely is because when that adjustment was made by Lopez, it got Romero out of his game plan. He doesn't have a plan B. That was his only plan, and unfortunately, Ishmael was already stuck on all you have to do is punch, and that's going to win you the fight. Did you notice he gave him no instructions on how to get a punch off? Where to get a punch in? He's doing bad on this, throw a left behind that, stay behind it. No, just, you're going to hate yourself.
Yeah.
You got to fight. Oh, what are you doing? What is going on with these trainers, right? Whatever happened to seeing a weakness and bringing it out of the fighter? Kind of weird. I remember Emmanuel used to see something and go, "Oh yeah, in round 8, that's gonna mean something." And round 8, most of the time, it meant something.
Yeah.
Where are those guys at? I'm seeing a bunch of fucking cheerleaders in these corners. And I know Ishmael said he had 25 champs, but bro, I didn't see it there. I seen you basically trying to cheer a guy on to just punch. But as a trainer, what is he supposed to do to get those punches off? Can you tell him something? Maybe that's why Romero was looking away. Who fuck cares about punch? You got to punch. Don't you see Lopez turn off when his dad gives him that stupid ass bullshit rah talk? I do.
But wasn't that a mistake in the end? Because if, let's say for the sake of argument, somebody did get in Salas' ear and say, "Yo, the zone is fucking, having you guys down. You guys are not, maybe the early rounds, but the zone has you from behind, and he's not liking the action that ROLLY is getting in there. ROLLY, bro, we gotta do something. This zone is already fucking us over. We have to do something." And ROLLY doesn't respond. I mean, even if that is the case where he's cheering him on, cheerleading ROLLY, and ROLLY's kind of zoning out because, like, dude, it doesn't work for that motherfucker either. In the end, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
And a mistake in what?
That they lost the fight, essentially.
But it was a mistake that Ishmael was cheerleading, or that
no, that ROLLY was zoning out. Like after like ROLLY saying like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Everything I'm doing out there is working." No, bro. Well, shit. Yeah, bro. Because clearly the decision went the other direction. That's what I meant. Like, and ROLLY specifically kind of being a little defiant and not following, not throwing more the way Ismael is telling him to, because he's thinking whatever he's doing is already working. Like, no, dude, I got it. Let me continue this way. While Salas is saying, "No, yo, the zone is saying you're already losing."
Know your fighter. What we know about Rolly Romero in the fight with Ryan Garcia, what happened in that fight? Both of them stopped throwing, right? That thing turned into a real big chess match at the end there. Maybe that's Rolly Romero's style. So maybe you got to find something that he does good and just ask him to do more of it instead of trying to change his whole game plan. Like, he's not that guy. That might be his downfall, and maybe it is. But so now I guess you could say the next trainer that goes with them, don't try to change him midway and fucking just tell him whatever he's doing, he needs to do fucking more of it. So if you're looking for a counter, you need a fucking counter. You need a feint, then counter. You need to mix up your counters, but you need to start countering more to get this fight back in your place. But maybe they confuse. Like I said, you guys, don't underestimate when Rolly Romero told everyone he had autism, right? These guys don't go outside of their comfort zone too much. I would hate to, I'm only saying this thing because they did a report on it. Rolly has talked about it, right? But if all these things about autistic kids are true, then they do work inside their own comfort zone. Know that, Ishmael. Maybe I'm a better trainer for Rolly than Ishmael, because somebody that knows that would have known he's not going to just flip a switch and start doing something else. Right?
Yeah.
So, excellent fight. Look, the fact that Rolly Romero has gotten this far in boxing and went 12 rounds with Lopez is cool in itself. I didn't know that the young man started late. I didn't know he was from judo. I think it was Ryan Garcia fight. I forgot when they told us about the autism. I've known that for a minute. But everything, it seems like, been in front of Rolly, always being the black sheep of the whole fucking division, right? Guy's gotten far. He did a solid 12 rounds. I got to agree with him about, the whole look at my face. I mean, not a fucking nick. Nothing? 12 rounds? How many punches were landed, dude? Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. It was primarily his body. It was just the redness in his ribs from the punches.
Well, he even showed that, though, at the press conference.
Well, he did, but you can see it. You can see that there was redness on there.
There was blood on his titty. But as far as a bruise, I mean, have you ever seen a fighter that's bruised on their ribs? It don't look red. Not an hour after the fight. It's gonna start showing some true color, right? I mean, you would see if that thing was pounded like meat. Just saying. He won. I'll give him the fight. I'm not here to talk about Rolly. I'm here to talk about DAZN's commentating fucking sucks. I'm almost done with these guys because DAZN's the big fish now, and they're still acting like their backs are against the wall, and they need to stop. I don't know what their thing is on Rolly Romero. Lopez. Besides that, he has a contract with DAZN. He's not a fan favorite. He doesn't move the needle. That fight wasn't exciting on his part. Put that fight in mute, you guys, and tell me how exciting that fight is. When you don't hear the commentators backing up your prediction, put it on mute. Fight's boring as shit. Who went to the water jug the next day at their office and said, "Man, did you see that Lopez guy? Man, you watch the fight. Those highlights were awesome. He was just teeing off." Please. There was none of that. Again.
That's a good point. None of that again. Yet again, not what we thought. At least the output from Teofimo, to being able to deliver what we have seen, at least in the lighter weight classes, specifically 135 when it was coming up. But when the big fights that he's won, I mean, even that fight with Barboza, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he won it, but it wasn't like you can go back and be like, fuck, there's a boatload of highlights of him whooping the shit out of Barboza. There really wasn't.
Right. Very much counting points with Lopez, and I don't know how much that moves the needle. Why DAZN thinks that him versus, I mean, I guess we're going to get into their future opponents now.
Oh, yeah. Well, in a second, a couple of things I wanted to mention.
Go ahead.
I didn't like, I mean, I was listening to the commentary, right? But when you see Romero, I didn't like the fact that when he would move back, he wouldn't do the half step and try to throw something back kind of thing. Like, knowing that he would move back as much as he did, I would have thought that he would let his hands go more. I can't blame the judges if fucking Teofimo swept the second half of the fight because of the inactivity on Romero's part. I would have liked for him to have thrown more, considering it almost seemed like each one of them was trying to bait the other into engaging or initiating so they can counter them. And when none of them were doing it, it became a fight of lesser activity. I want to mention something that maybe doesn't get said as much, or I haven't heard anybody else say this, but in that fifth round where ROLLY hurt Teofimo with that right hand, he basically countered the jab. As soon as the jab came, he was like dipped and threw the punch. Eerily similar to George Kambosos. The way George Kambosos dropped Teofimo, it was the same thing. It was literally a jab from Teofimo, and dude countered and landed the fucking right and dropped him. The difference is, of course, that Kambosos actually dropped Teofimo, but it was the same punch. It was the right hand counter over the jab. I kind of look at him being hurt there, and I think there's an argument to be made. I mean, I guess it's after the fact now, but the Teofimo was actually knocked down. Like, I think that was, he grabbed, what's his name was throwing, and he fell because he was hurt. I don't think that was just that.
Point.
I would love to have looked for the referee been like, yeah, motherfucker's down, because he goes down. The one judge, if every other round is scored the same way, minus that fifth round, like that fifth round is 10-8 for ROLLY, it ends up being a draw. And he keeps his belt. So he has another major payday that he can come his way. I would have liked for that to have been a knockdown, because obviously Teofimo was hurt. Obviously he was grabbing to shake off the cobwebs and buy himself a little time. And fucking, ROLLY's cracking and he goes down. All right, cool. Clearly should have been a knockdown, I think.
It was absolutely a knockdown. That is a great point, dude. Did you see how Lopez went to one knee and looked up at the ref? He was waiting for the count, bro.
Oh shit!
He was waiting for the count, and the ref said, "Get up," and he's like, "Oh shit! Oh, all right,
Yeah.
all right, we're moving on."
Like, is this the ref that gave Gervonta the fucking pass? All right, cool. Let's bring it. It wasn't, but it was funny.
He must know I'm signed with the zone. Shit, here
Right.
we go. Here we go. Come on, man. No,
Yeah.
great call, bro. I forgot all about that. He gets on one knee and looks up like he's waiting for the 8 count. It's not him getting up and going, "Oh, wipe my gloves off, man. I just fell down." That's all that happened.
Right.
No, he stays down and he looks up at the ref. Oh shit! Yeah, great call. Yeah, no. That probably was. It was an exciting fight. I wouldn't mind if it was brought back. I understand that they're not because they've got these, I guess, big dreams for Lopez. I don't really know where they're going with that one. His dad seems to be a train wreck who's not getting off the fucking, the rails until he actually comes off of them. Lopez, not a fucking ticket seller. I don't think this fight put him in as a household name. I don't know where they're going with this one. I honestly, I think you had more of a story with the Cinderella man and Rolly Romero. You really did.
You have more of a story, but when you see him not really respond to the interviews and stuff because of his condition of the way he is, it makes you not want to put him up.
No, you play with it. No, Miguel, you got to remember, it's not his fault that he's not like that. But there's many kids like that. Oh, that could be huge. That could be huge if he's actually a good athlete and he has a problem that, I don't know how many little boys in America, 1 out of every 4. I think they're saying now, don't hold me to the numbers, but it's pretty high on boys. There's a lot of moms out there that have kids that don't talk a lot, right?
Yeah. So lean into it is what they should have done.
Come on now. Don't sit there and go, what? This lack of words. You fucking dipshits, man. Do you guys know who you're talking about? Do you know anything about your fighters? It was on your fucking, oh no, was it? It might have been PBC. I was gonna say it was on your network, but I don't think he was on this.
Well, it was. What do you mean? This fight was
it the Garcia fight? Was it the Garcia fight where they brought up the autism? Because he's been in a few. I know.
I don't remember which one they brought that up on, but I know that has been brought up before.
Yes, and I don't remember. That's why I don't want to say. But the zone should have known that, Miguel. They should have known that. That's public knowledge. Everybody knows it. So don't fucking talk down to the guy who's not giving good interviews when the guy didn't talk for almost the first 10 years of his fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so ultimately, Teofimo comes away with a victory and the WBA championship at welterweight. That right hand that Rolly landed, very similar to Camboso's, only, it wasn't officially called a knockdown here. That would have changed things. That could have been a draw, and he has at least another major payday coming. But I guess we can move on to like what's next here specifically. Unfortunately for Romero, I'm not sure if they're going to give him any more opportunities at the top. Yes, he's not the kind that will give you the top interview or give you any sort of sound bites and stuff like that, which a lot of people were hoping he would give here. He didn't. Even after the fight, he runs out of there without any words. Give us something, and not just like, thank you, Jesus, thanks, we're fine. Okay, great. Let's talk about the fight. Let's just talk about the fight. Even if you're, and he did kind of eventually come around for the press conference because he threw in his 2 cents and whatever opinion he had about the politics in the sport and why he didn't get the victory. But at least throw that in, immediately after the fight. Like your emotions are there. Let them out by all means. But I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to give him at the top, at least, if this is the kind of response they get from him. Like you said, they can definitely work with it, right? Lean into it. But I don't think they're going to. They didn't do it here. They're not going to. But to what you were going to say, what's next for Teofimo? I've seen / heard, I believe, a video, or saw a video recently with I think, was it today or maybe yesterday? But it might have been today. Of the Ring Magazine YouTube channel, that show with Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger, and Teofimo was on there, and they had a brief FaceTime with Jack Catterall, which supposedly is the mandatory for his WBA title. If you hear Teofimo talk about it, he says, no, dude, you're not a mandatory. They're having conflicting information for whatever the fuck reason. Somehow Catterall is convinced that he is the mandatory, and Teofimo is convinced that he actually isn't. So you want to throw in your 2 cents about what's next? Give us, what's next for either one of these guys, both Romero and Lopez.
Well, for the Romero one, I think he gets another fight. I don't see how Romero's not a bad guy. He doesn't come in overweight. He doesn't test dirty on drug tests. Legit name. Credible victory for anyone who's trying to come up in the sport. So I think I see Rolly Romero getting another shot at this, especially he works with Al Heyman. Don't know who or when, but I don't see him going away anytime soon. As far as Lopez, he's pulling the same shit that Ryan Garcia is pulling. Now all of a sudden he's running the sport. He's calling shots. And
yeah.
I'm here to unify. You know what? Who's paying for it? Is DAZN just writing checks here? Because the last time I checked, 2 champions cost some money, right?
Yep.
Now, Paro might not be out of his budget, but Ryan Garcia is. The fuck you talking about, Ryan Garcia? Unless you're going to make like $2 million that night and allow Ryan to make $25 million, you're not getting that fight because there's not $35 million in that pot. And even if Ryan beats Conor Benn, he's not paying Rolly Romero, overpaying Rolly Romero just to get Rolly Romero in the fight. What kind of victory is that? If anything, Shakur would be on Ryan's radar, not fucking Rolly fucking Romero. I mean, excuse me, Teofimo Lopez. Yeah. So I don't know where that talk is coming from on his side about unifying because I just don't see his market there. Maybe if DAZN wants to overspend, but I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna hold off on Lopez. I think he gets a shot at Paro because the budget's right. Eddie Hearn will make that fight. It's with DAZN. Paro's Eddie Hearn guy, correct?
Paro is the No Limit people, the Australian No Limit people. Yeah, I want to say that's what it is. I could be wrong, but that's usually
that's even easier. Yeah, that's even easier because then they're not expensive at all.
And they've worked with they work with PBC. They generally work with PBC a lot, at least through Tim Zhu.
But that win adds a belt. I don't know if it adds a 0 to Lopez's check. So it's a good gap filler to get in to see if you're going to get the big sweepstakes fight with Ryan Garcia. But I just don't see that fight happening if Ryan scores that victory with Conor Benn. I think Zuffa is going to break the bank to put Stevenson and Garcia in the ring.
All right. I was taking a look at seeing if I could find any information on the attendance or live gate or anything like that. I know it's probably too soon for pay-per-view numbers, but this pay-per-view was $80, so I have to imagine not a lot of people purchased it, especially with the lesser-known fighters on the undercard and specifically the co-main event. But the attendance looked a little weak. Because I did go to the media / public workout earlier in the week. I noticed there wasn't a lot of people there. There were some, right? It was primarily Teofimo's people. Did you notice when they announced Rolly Romero at the beginning and they said, from Las Vegas, Nevada, not a lot of people cheered. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was not that many people there to support him. Kind of sucks for him because he is from here, but local. But nobody really cheered for him. It wasn't until they announced Teofimo. I mean, it was specifically when Teofimo was announced, there was a lot more of a pop. But I was looking at some people on Twitter, some people that I follow on there, and they were saying leading up to the main event, roughly they calculated about 3,000 people there, roughly. This is a big arena. We talked about this earlier. I thought maybe they could have done this in a smaller arena. It's anything not as big as that to not at least have a chance of selling the place out, or at least not looking so empty because of how big T-Mobile really is. As I understand it, it started to fill out a little more as the main event drew closer, and of course, when the main event was there, is when most people were there. But apparently, it was damn empty. And you can watch it if you watch even the co-main event. Take a look at like the crowd in there. There was a lot of empty seats. I can't imagine these guys are in the green at all. You know, putting the fight here, they have to be in the red. I would have to think.
It doesn't matter when the fans show up, as long as they showed up. So,
or I guess as long as they pay the ticket, right? I mean, even if they don't show up, I suppose.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Miguel, I've never been to a fight in boxing. Now I know your MMA might be different. But in boxing, it's very rare that you go and 17,000 are there on the opening bell.
Yeah.
Okay? It always fills in at the very end. Everyone's there for the main event. Most of the time, the lower whole fucking bowl, those guys that spend the most money on the tickets are there just for the main event. Mm-hmm. So, I you know, there's so many times I'm like, oh, they didn't sell out. And then we get the numbers. They say 15,000 were there. And you're like, what? I don't know if they're real or not, but they're coming from Nevada, right? Mm-hmm. They're coming from the commission. So you got to hope that they're real. But I seen the lower bowl packed. Now, I didn't look up top. I was okay with what I was seeing on the main event. Mm-hmm. Once again, I was not paying attention on the undercard to see if people were there because I didn't even know the undercard. So I'm not holding it against them. Right. For not being there. I would probably have been gambling too. Like, what time's the main event start? 8:30? We got time. We got time. I'm just kidding.
Which we have done before. Me and our mentor, Leonish, I was there from the fucking opening bell. And he's like, let's get some pizza. And I'm like, what? There's fights on. I'm like, no, let's get some pizza. Oh, shit. So we go get some pizza. And then make it back in time for the main event. Like, oh, shit, okay. You know, granted, we were media members at the time. But yeah, it's the same process.
Same shit, bro. Yes, sir. So, I'm not holding them against that. I did see it did look like, if anything, the top tier was a little dark. So maybe they didn't get even to the top level. I don't know. Pay-per-view buys, who gives a shit? DAZN needs subscribers. Soon we need to talk about subscriptions in America and not pay-per-view buys. Because it seems like they're hurting in both sides.
You know, that's a good point because like it is on pay-per-view technically, right? But if you're part of that ultimate subscription, then it's not pay-per-view, it's just part of the subscription, right? So was there an increase, an uptick of subscriptions to Ultimate, you know, like something along those lines, something that to be able to gauge it better, because obviously pay-per-view is kind of a dying thing and it has been for a hot minute already. So it's not like that's something that is dependable unless it's solely on pay-per-view. This wasn't, you know, this is also part of the ultimate subscription for DAZN. So there has to be some other metric that we can use to kind of gauge whether or not this was a success on television. Because in person, we take a look at the ticket sales, right, and the live gate, et cetera, et cetera. But from a television perspective, we have to have a different measure, a different measuring stick, I guess, than just pay-per-view, specifically this one, because there was two different ways to watch it.
I think it's just subscriptions. That's going to show us if DAZN's doing good or not. Right? I mean, honestly, if the people have to pay every month, who gives a shit who's turning in, I think is what DAZN is thinking, as long as they have subscriptions, right? So that's really that's where your bar is. So you just got to look that up. Now, from what I'm told, the numbers are good globally, but they suck domestically here in America. So that's what the numbers they need to pick up on. Look, Miguel, we got to give them some time though to get through the Turkey war, because that's what's going on right now. We have a company that's trying to basically take boxing as a whole, and we have DAZN fucking trying to put their pennies together to save it on their platform and not totally just hand this thing over to Riyadh, Zufa, Seal, Sella. I always say Seal, Sella.
Yeah, you like the Kiss from a Rose song? You like
yeah. But so we got to give them time, because look, they're gonna get, obviously they got Lopez now back in a major play at welterweights, right? Let's say somehow the Garcia Lopez fight ends up on DAZN. That might be a big night for them, right? Who knows? So I don't know where boxing is right now. You know, for a long time, I like it that when we're on Netflix for free, seems like people still care. Right? I don't know if people care enough to search for the sport, though. So that's boxing's problem right now. It looks like we still have a following if we're on the right platform. Damn it, it's not. It looks like we do. Right? The numbers are out. Boxing definitely has a heartbeat if they're on the right platform. DAZN needs to become that platform. I don't think we're getting much help from our own media, though. And you can say some of that's boxing's fault for turning away the smaller guys that were truly in love with the sport, sold us out for what they thought was going to be the new blood, these influencers. I don't know how great of a job they're doing getting more eyeballs on this fight. We will bring up the Amanda Serrano thing later. Big, huge one there on the TikTok side. But hell, how long has the male boxing side been doing this whole TikTok, YouTube influencers all in the fucking media room? More influencers than you see reporters walking around doing their little skits, doing their little, here's 20 questions. I had 20 questions for you. Some of the stupidest fucking questions too. Like, do you think you're gonna win this weekend?
Yeah.
Like they're really gonna say no,
right?
You know, like
or like all right. So what's your game plan? This thing it's like yeah, I'm gonna give you the game plan. Sure, dude. I'm really gonna just give you all this fucking information on here. That definitely grinds my gears.
And you've said that many times about they love the corny question people. They do. I'm seeing it all. I'm seeing it. All these fucking videos on these build up things for these fights with these influencers are some of the stupidest content that you see. It's for children. It's not for adults.
Well, even this one leading up to Teofimo and
but wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
who buys the subscriptions? Children or adults, Miguel?
It's the adults who are supposed to buy the subscription.
Maybe they're aiming for the wrong crowd. Maybe you should hey, look I hate keep throwing the MMA under the bus, but maybe we don't want their children. Their children are into illegal streaming. If anyone's seen the numbers on the UFC recently, they obviously have a following, but the following obviously finds other ways to watch their content. Maybe we don't want their influencers. Who gives a shit if, oh no, this guy for Dana White does 20 million fucking views? Yeah, on his own fucking TikTok streaming illegally. Don't go to that guy. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, but
yeah,
that's the ballpark that they're in. You understand? There's something going on that MMA side that's not adding up. Their numbers on Paramount is not adding up to the $7.7 billion thing that they said they had going there. Then what is Jake Paul worth? Because he's fucking tripled the MMA numbers. So what is he worth then if they're worth that much, right? We're not playing that game, but what's really going on here? 108 to 40 million? Not even fucking close, dog. So boxing needs to fix that. They need to get back in good with the adults, the old timers. I don't know, guys that are used to fucking paying money for shit. Those blue collar workers that are all about probably in their 40s to 60s right now, still got a lot of time on the TV. Boxing, those don't count us out dead yet. Maybe pull out some of that young, stupid ass, dumb content blood you got flowing through the sport right now that's not bringing any eyeballs. I don't see our pay-per-view numbers thriving. I don't see any of these guys going, oh shit, Ice Speed was at a fight this weekend and 30 million people was watching his fucking stream. Have you ever heard anything like that? Because I watch them streaming live ringside. Have we ever seen them break numbers? I give you an example. He was also doing it for the World Cup. I believe they said 20 million people were watching his stream. They had the number, though. You see?
Yeah.
The World Cup ain't playing around. Like, bitch, you make our money. You showing us something.
Yeah.
You gonna whip out a titty for us.
It happened with this one too. They had some sort of at the public workout. They had some a lie detector test. They have Teofimo light, and it was just I was like, and it wasn't for the people there live.
was one of them.
Yeah.
Miguel.
Did you send that the fucking basket with the bananas to Keyshawn's room or whatever the fuck it was?
Because that's what we want to do on the week of the fight, right? Let's go ahead and throw the fight right off the fucking hinges with something like that.
Yeah. Let's distract the
true.
shit. Let's distract the fuck out of these fighters by putting them to the feet to the fire. Like, did you not? You're up the N word last week. Like, oh fuck, what? Now I'm gonna be canceled here before the biggest fight of my career. Like, oh, whose idea was that? Good Lord, that was terrible, man. Jeez.
It's gonna get canceled. No shit,
yeah,
bro.
they're gonna cancel my ass.
Shit.
It's like they're gonna be like turning the damn camera to the entrance and like there's no Teofimo. Like, sorry, yo, I got canceled.
And matter of fact, there's no way that dude took that fucking question to the production crew because of what you just said. He might be in trouble for that one. You're absolutely right on that. That could have fucking went totally south really fast. Like, I mean, Ryan's been up there. Rumors that he cheats on his wife. I can't wait till they're like, Ryan, do you cheat on your wife? Ooh, don't be juicy. It's like, no, lies.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you guys.
I know, for real. It's like, were you or were you not in this hoe's room last night while your wife was asleep breastfeeding her child? Fuck. Who the fuck told you? You know, like that, like, yo, really? You're really going to ruin this motherfucker? I mean, you know, obviously they ruined their own lives, but my point is exposing them before the biggest fight of the career, hello, just seems like it's counterproductive, to say the least.
I know I'm losing light here.
Oh.
I hope my light can hang with me. Maybe I'll call for a secondary. My spotlight broke on me, dude. I don't know what happened.
As long as your AC is still working, we can work with the light.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah, we got that.
As long as that's working, that's all that matters.
Thank you, Amazon. Hours.
Yeah.
It was down for hours. Fucking got that back on the next day. No, I did wait the next day. It came at 4 a.m, but I had to go. I had to be somewhere at 6. So I came home. I threw it in, but thank God for Amazon, man.
Did the family leave the house at least a little bit, so they're not like stuck at the hot house? Did they go somewhere else to just kind of stay cool?
Maybe to a gym.
It's even hotter than shit. They're working up a sweat in there. They're like, I left my house for this. Damn, it's fucking hot.
I fucking hate Dad.
He's like, go to the fucking gym instead. I'm like, damn it. This is for you, Dad, motherfucker. All right.
I've told him that. I said, think about me. I don't give a shit. Hit that fucking bag, eh?
Be like, remember that time I told you to take out the fucking trash, crack me, pretend I'm there, you pop me in the upper lip. Tell me that. Like, remember next time. It's like that dude from fucking what is it, Waterboy, when he imagines that fucking coach or whatever on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Little dick.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the field goal kicker that like imagines the Klansman as the ball. It's good. Oh boy, comedy like it used to be. All right, so I guess this is the kind of where I was leading with that question. Like, do we consider this a success? This event. We don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are. I know we already mentioned that. We don't know what the attendance number is. Considering how the buildup was kind of meh, to some degree, because Romero just isn't that kind of guy. He only says so much, of course, and it only really things only really got spicy, I think, a few days before the fight because of that last press conference. But with the main event, or with the card, the undercard being what it was, you think this is a successful event?
I won't know until the numbers come out, but I'm going to say I thought the fight was going to move the needle more than it did in the boxing world. Didn't really get any phone calls on it. I think Lopez was a bigger star back in the day than he is currently right now. And I don't think it's just the Lopez Shakur fight that got him there. I believe it started when he was questioning his motivation after the Martin fight. Then in one of the other fights, supposed to be a showcase, he's having trouble. I forget the fighter, the name off top.
I think it was Jermell Ortiz. I want to say
where he was questioning himself again. I think it was just a bunch of those on ESPN, not really looking like a headliner superstar, right? what was it, Takeover Thursdays? Was it what they were calling them?
Mm.
I think that's when he lost a lot of his momentum. Unfortunately, Romero, the Romero fight, well, it brought him back at least amongst the diehards. Don't know if he turned into a household name. So just a little, how do you say it, Miguel? It's been hard seeing where the sport is. I think really, dude, I started knowing that our sport was dying, like started believing the headlines, even though I think they're pumped a lot more because of the MMA fanboys that are currently in boxing. They started believing it, right? And when we're not in the sports book, dude, and someone's brought that up.
Paulie Malignaggi mentioned it.
Is that what he mentioned about us not being in the sports book? Yeah, exactly. Good job, Paulie. I'm glad he listened.
Yes, he's a fan of the show. I'm sure he is. Thank you, Paulie. Next time, leave a comment, please.
We have one of the highest VIP lists that listen to the shows, bro.
No kidding. There's a nice word that you like to use is closet. We have a lot of closet fans, a lot of closet mad boxing fans out there. Please step out of the closet. Come out, please, for us, because we like to hear you guys.
Someone finally said it about how that's a major flaw in our sport. And I totally agree, dude. I can't believe the sports book doesn't look at boxing as a major sport anymore. So things need to change. Pay-per-view numbers we know have been down. Dude, we've sat on this show and tried to hype up certain fight cards. And I'm not even just talking about the Cinco de Mayo one, because I know PBC has done it at least twice. They put on some stellar cards where we're like, hey, look, this is a PBC card. They do good. They have Mayweather fan base, blah, 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 and 600,000, 300,000. I didn't talk about the Tank and David Benavidez fight when they did them back-to-back, the co-main event, main event. So it just this has been like 2 years now of declining numbers, no numbers on the numbers, right? Yeah. Or they're not even mentioned.
Oh yeah, that too. I didn't even think about that. It's not just subscriptions necessarily, or new subscriptions for DAZN or DAZN Ultimate, whatever the fuck. But it's like, how many of those people tune in to watch it? Why don't we get those numbers too?
We're not
like
even getting
specifically from that, right? Because that is another metric we can use. It's not just the same way Paramount did it with the UFC or Netflix with the Jake Paul cards. It's like, yo, if these events, for example, the Cinco de Mayo one or whatever. I'm not sure if that was part of the Ultimate package or not, but probably not. I think that was specifically PBC. But anyway, point is, like, when they do these kind of cards, like, why not have the numbers out there? It's just it gives us a better indication of the shit's going on. Maybe the new subscribers aren't necessarily a good metric for it because of how few there are, but how many of the active subscribers are tuning in to watch it? How many people have, what numbers? I know, like, I don't know if there's a way to do it specifically, but to see how many subscribers specifically for the DAZN Ultimate package compared to just the regular one, like, why don't we get those numbers? That's kind of important too.
Yes, and it might be because they're under 100,000.
Oh boy, that's yeah. No, I hear you. That might very well be it. But I think if we're gonna, like, using this was an example with ROLLY and Teofimo, if there aren't many more people who signed up for the Ultimate package, at least give us the numbers of the ones that do have it, who did tune in to watch it. Like, clearly people have it. Some people are paying for it, right? So how many people are tuning into this shit? I want to have some sort of idea. I don't know who the hell I can ask about that, but anyway. Figured I can find. There was that one young cat, that English dude, who's like CEO of as a Matchroom or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out.
DAZN. Out of DAZN.
Is it DAZN?
Yeah, DAZN has a new CEO. They have walking around doing interviews now. I've seen them for at least the last month here.
All right. So anything else we want to add to this this weekend? Well, specifically, ROLLY Romero and Teofimo Lopez. We mentioned we didn't really know too many of the undercard fights, but there were a couple of decent undercard bouts on there. Were you able to catch any of the undercard, or were you just tuning in specifically for the main event?
Yeah, I just tuned in for the main event. Actually, trying to save the show right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Look like I'm a pirate on a boat.
Right. Pirates of the Caribbean. All of a sudden now you're like, it looks more so like a campfire story, and you got the flashlight under your, some sort of horror story in, this weekend. But, after watching, and I wanted to throw this in there because I thought it was kind of funny. Every time I hear Clarissa Shields talking about Rolly Romero and talking about how she can beat him, right? I wonder, I haven't seen anything from her yet. I wonder if she's come out, and said it'd be like, you see that motherfucker right there, see, he doesn't even throw punches or whatever the shit, and see if maybe she throws some more on that. Because I've heard Rolly Romero saying, like, I think this girl's just in love with me, man, at this point. She doesn't fucking keep me out of her mouth. But I'm surprised Clarissa has it, because she came out and immediately talked about Amanda Serrano, which we'll talk about a little later on. But the fact that, Rolly looked the way he looked, as inactive as he looked at least, and ends up losing his title, I'm surprised that Clarissa hasn't come out and talked mad shit about Romero. At least not that I've seen, at least. Have you seen anything that she said recently?
No, I didn't see anything that she said about his latest defeat. But watch what you wish for. Rolly Romero would knock the fuck out of Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields really needs to call out the Cyborg for calling her out so many times. Cyborg even threw a fucking text at her after her latest victory. She was talking shit to her. I didn't see Clarissa respond to that one. So before we try to do a male-female boxing match, I guess it's the same thing. No, I'm just playing with you, Cyborg. I'm just playing. But no, let's do the Cyborg fucking Clarissa fight before we do Clarissa versus Romero.
let's do this WNBA shit. It's like, I don't know what the fuck a woman is. Yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead and throw it in there.
You see, they kicked one of the dudes out.
That shit was funny as hell, dude. For that shirt, oh, that was hilarious. That was really good. I saw a kick off.
This is transphobia at its highest level.
And I thought, throwing those fucking green dildos into the damn court was bad. This is hilarious. It's like, if I thought that was funny, this
no doubt. Whatever happened to the green dildo guy? He got out while he was.
Yes, I was more than one person.
There you go. Yeah, no, you're probably right on that. They got out while they were ahead, though.
Right, yeah.
They're all soon. The feds are going to be fucking checking every fucking camera they have on this building.
Right. I'm still shocked how they're able to get in, but oh yeah. So anyway, but anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. So this other one here, this next story involves the ongoing saga / drama / novela between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. If you hear Eddie Hearn talk about it, he says the fight is signed. It's just a matter of those other guys, the Saudis, basically keeping their end of the bargain, talking about they haven't even gotten the full payment or full payment of the Pranga fight. So they're like, no, we're going to basically put our foot down. This is going to have to be a power move because otherwise these guys won't learn any other way. So from what I understand, there are a couple of things, actually, I shouldn't even say a couple of things, quite a few things that Anthony Joshua's side has demanded to say, all right, you know what, if we're going to have this fight in New York and not in the UK or England, specifically Wembley, then you're going to have to meet these demands. I don't even know what to think about some of this stuff, but you tell me if this sounds legitimate to any degree, Andrew.
Okay.
For Joshua Fury fight to take place in America, these are the main Eddie Hearn asks. All monies payable to Matchroom across all future darts and snooker events to be paid immediately.
That's stupid.
I don't know what snooker is. Do you know what snooker is? Because I don't know what the fuck that is. All right. International promotional fee plus deposit for World Series of Darts and 167 Riyadh season events. Okay. Formal confirmation that the Ronnie O'Sullivan Academy license is renewed for a third year and those future invoices paid now. I don't know what any of that stuff means, but I'm going to keep going. That was the third demand. Number 4, Matchroom to have joint control of November 20th undercard. Oh, that part we kind of already knew, right? We're going over some of the undercard fights that had what was it, Chispa Medina and Bam Rodriguez, right? That basically was a Matchroom undercard. Have joint control of it with the following fights that take place, and it goes into the details of those same fights. Gerald Miller and Murad Gassiev, and then Keyshawn Davis, Jack Catterall, Bam Rodriguez, Christian Chispa Medina. And lastly, ring/Sella to specify an event by the end of the year that Matchroom will run operations for in 2026. So I came across this and I was like, I don't know how legit this is. I mean, you know, it's Eddie Hearn. His demands, from what I understand here, according to this, some stuff has, and I don't know if maybe these other topics or these other demands that he's referring to have anything to do with them not being paid. Maybe they too, something to do with the darts or whatever. Maybe that too means that they haven't got paid by the Saudis. I don't know the specifics, of course, but does this does this not sound a little kind of outlandish, Andrew?
Well, it does, and it's already been shot down numerous times by Eddie Hearn. Eddie came out and called the reporter that put that out there.
Oh, did he really? No shit.
Yeah, he called him out. He also called out their one Davies or whoever, you know, that reporter from the UK the other day that told them they should just sign the contract.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
he even called
Gareth or something like that.
Gareth Davies or something like that. They called him out too. I don't know if Eddie Hearn's gonna be working with that man anytime soon. Looks like that dude sold out to the Saudis putting a report like that out there. You know, Miguel, when did reporters get into negotiating like that? When did they use their media outlets to try to pressure a promoter into signing something that, listen, you guys, it's going to be a shock to you. The fight is already signed. All Eddie wants them to do is honor the contract. Isn't that all any of us want from our bosses?
That's the point of contracts, is it not? That's kind of the point of it.
Pay me what you owe me. Pay me, make me do what I was hired to do. Right? Yet we have media outlets that are coming out and actually telling it, fuck your contract, write another one. So there is a piece of shit. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? But it's some guy that writes a fucking column, right? A reporter for what? What outlet do you work for that's so big that you think you can tell a guy who's made millions of dollars for a sport that he's in the wrong and he should just sign a fucking contract?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
It's the difference with the reporters nowadays. It really is. Before, this would not have been hard. I'm sorry, Turkey, that you guys didn't read the fucking full contract. I mean, Don King did the shit all the time. Yeah, we got rid of Don King. Soon as everyone seen what he was up to, they got rid of him. We moved on from him. But nobody was ever pressuring anyone. No one ever said, hey, no, you can't do that fight. He's a piece of shit. Don't do that fight. He's just trying to rob you. No, they tell the fighter he was actually done for signing with Don King, and he didn't read good enough. Well, why aren't we telling Turkey that? You signed a contract that said the fight was supposed to take place in Wembley, excuse me. I'm all thinking of that movie, what's that? My wife watches it. Damn it, what's it called? Damn, I'll think of the name. No, look, you guys, it's pretty simple what Eddie Hearn said why they don't want it in America. One, the fight doesn't fucking belong in America. Let's just start with that. Matter of fact, before I even get into the other one, Miguel, let's rewind Mad Boxing to 2 years. I think we've been on for 2 years, right? Weren't we just saying the newest hot spot in boxing was the UK?
Yes, across the pond, for sure.
Then weren't we like, man, everything they put on, they sell out. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's Dillian White versus fucking who's the dude? Chisora.
Oh yeah,
they sold the bitch out. Now Eddie needs help from across the pond to make money for AJ? No, he don't. No, he doesn't. But what do we do know? What happens when AJ comes across the pond to put on that fight in New York? You know what we know happens? He's going to get taxed by New York, isn't he? And because he files his taxes in the UK, most likely he's going to what? Get taxed again in the UK for his income that he made that year. That's losing more money. And that's all Eddie Hearn said. It was never in the contract that we wanted to go over there and get taxed again. So why don't you pay for those taxes? Why don't you give us the raise? And dude, it happens in football all the time. Owners are paying taxes so guys won't choose other states. Fuck yeah.
No kidding. So is that like an incentive for them to be? Oh, shit. That's crazy. Okay.
We will match their offer after taxes. Oh, hell yeah.
Damn.
How do you think the Raiders and Niners, they don't get the best players all the time? Everyone's like, fuck California. You guys got way too many taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they did the money on like one of the, it was pathetic. Bro, he doesn't take home that much money off like an $80 million. It was one of the linemen just retired out for the Rams Super Bowl. They did some little like special on the tax breakdown for him. Yeah, it was pretty pathetic, man. It's bad for like, I think even the World Cup players lost money coming to California.
Jeez.
Yep. Wow. There was a report about that, about how much California was taxing them guys too. So anyways, that is a thing. So Eddie, when I hear Eddie Hearn say, who the fuck ever told us we were paying New York? I don't want to pay New York. I don't want AJ to pay New York. We're going to do fine out here in the UK. They were.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking Eddie Hearn. I hope they stand on this all the way to the end. I really do. I don't really give two shits about the fight anymore. Now this is just more about some dude thinking he could come anywhere and punk anyone he wants, and he can't. This isn't Saudi Arabia, dude. Sorry, you're fucking There's contracts in place. There's laws in place called the ROLLY Act. Oh no, we'll change that too. We'll fucking change. I'll put some white guy as the leader of the change, and then all the other white guys will fall in line. That's all he did there. Anyone notice him and Dana ain't been talking lately? Anyone notice Dana's last UFC press conference had no talk about Zuffa? Yeah, I forgot to say that. Did you even notice that?
No.
One motherfucking question about Zuffa last week, dog.
Damn.
Nothing hit the UFC lines about Zuffa. You know the UFC said, I'm done with these reporters coming into our fucking time slots, right? We just had a major fight, yet you get 8 questions about AJ versus Fury. No, that's over. Khan versus Ben. I mean, Khan versus Ben.
No.
Khan versus Ryan. Fuck their questions. Oh yeah, someone got the memo. Someone got an email.
Yeah,
there will be no more boxing questions.
Somebody got the email like, "Did you ask a question about? Yeah, your credentials are rejected. Fuck that. You're not coming in today." It's like, no, look, you're gonna. We'll show you the door, please. It's one of those kind of things.
So I very much noticed that in the last UFC one. Dana looked a lot happier too. Swear to God. I'm just saying the glow was different. It was like he had some good sex the night before. Yeah, the bosses were like, "Don't worry, none of those boxing questions are coming." He's like, "Yeah, fuck those guys. Fucking hate that sport."
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck lets those guys in?
So, yeah, dude. Turkey where was I going with that, Miguel?
Oh, it's more about the principle. It's more about them.
Oh yeah, they stand on this one.
Hearn saying like putting his foot down, and not so much the fight anymore, because it seems like maybe no one gives a fuck about the fight anymore. Now it becomes this. This is the fight that's actually happening behind the scenes.
And I think the boxers need to see it too. For all these guys that think they're just going to burn their promoter and walk away to the Saudi dude, and he's going to pay all their bills and all their problems are going to go away. No, contracts mean something. Sorry.
Yeah. Can we put a little bit of this blame on Eddie himself, specifically when he himself said it's like, yeah, go get the fucking money, go by all means. Well, they're kind of fucking themselves over now. It's like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have told them to go over there, even though they aren't able to pay the kind of money that they are. Now we're kind of in this situation where he himself is like letting in the fox in the hen house, right? Saying like, all right, yeah, go take take advantage of that money while it's there. Well, that's really kind of driving the nail in the fucking coffin.
We will see how that one plays out, though, because that might have been a perfect bomb that he said put over there. It hasn't exploded yet, but if he gets knocked out on September 12th, about 2 weeks here, 3 weeks, that's 31 million down the fucking shitter, dude.
Yeah.
The prince has got to, or the Turkey's got to go home to the prince. He's gonna be like, "Where's my money?" I'm sorry. Do they call him Your Highness? Your Highness.
No, you're wait, you're no. He's your the excellency, right? What's his name? Turkey. I don't know what you call the other dude. Just Prince, I guess.
All right. Sorry, Your Prince. There is no money. Did he win the fight? No, Your Prince. He did not win the fight. Oh, he fucking
like no Prince. As the Americans say, he got knocked the fuck out. One of those. Like that's what the Americans say. I don't know what that quite means, but you know, they have their own slang.
Yes. Yeah. It won't be good. So, Eddie might have been a genius sending Conor there for 2 fights, $31 million. So we'll see how that one plays out. They ruined it in the very beginning, letting this dude in, right? And we said it in the very beginning. That's still all in play. It's just it doesn't seem like one. I don't think Turkey knew his health was gonna be the way it was 2 years later, and two, I think he thought boxing was I'm sorry, but in a way better position than what it actually is. I think everyone sees our numbers off a couple of fighters, say Canelo, Floyd, AJ, shit like that, and they're like, oh man, these guys really make serious money over here. When it's like, no, we don't. Actually, every fight is a sellout. Fucking, how did he say it?
It's going out of business. Yeah.
Right? You got to hit it while the iron's hot, dude, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to be in this sport, right? As one, even like Spence fucking gets in a car accident, goes from the face of boxing to can't see, right? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know, so it is a going out of sales party every time we put up a fight. So I don't think Turkey really, I think he underestimated that. I think the other promoters are waiting it out. They're going to play hard to get until he's done trying to fuck, and he's just going to move on.
Yeah. Which may be happening here soon.
It's like they're like girls that like to go on dates, but then say they're only friends at the very end.
Right.
Soon you'll stop calling that beep.
Right. That's exactly it. And it seems like that's imminent. I want to throw this in here because I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it before we move on to the next topic. Things are happening with them, with the Saudi investment funds, right? They're the public investment fund. Somebody said something. Well, let me see if I can pull up that screenshot. Oh, yeah. According to the New York Times, the public investment fund, Saudis, could be set to close its wallet for the time being due to several projects that are in financial distress, according to 11 people briefed on its operations. The end is in sight for Saudi boxing. And then somebody replied to that saying it pales in comparison to what's happening with Live Golf. We've heard about that, them pulling away from Live Golf as well. They have pumped billions into that, and it's about to die. I personally know a lad who works for one of the teams that is owed thousands, and he's pretty much accepted he isn't going to get it. Shit. So, yeah, according to the New York Times, at least, the Saudi Public Investment Fund is going to be closing its wallets, at least according to this, temporarily for the time being, because of how many of these prospects are in serious financial distress. Boxing included.
Not only is that in play, I think one thing that's still happening we haven't talked about in a long time is the war. Right? There's a war still going on. It's escalated into something bigger now that we don't want to say we're in a full-blown war, but it looks like it's heading that direction, or we might already be in it. We just haven't acknowledged it yet. Iran just put out a warning to everyone else that if they work with America, they're going to be considered enemies. Does that, maybe that's why they're like, you know what, let's cut tourism off. We're not doing any big shows here, right? We don't want any funny business happening here. Then we get thrown in the middle of this. So you got to bring up that war in Iran still hasn't cleared itself up. And that could be a reason why they're putting out these announcements, too, about slowing down the money.
And it might not be clearing itself up anytime soon either. It doesn't seem as though it's, an end is in sight at all. So, all right. Anything else you want to add to this goofy story before we move on to the next one?
No, sir. Oh, you know what?
Yes, sir.
I heard if it wasn't signed by tonight that it wasn't going to happen. And it is 8:00 on the West Coast.
Oh, so, no kidding.
Yeah, dude. I heard it was either Monday or they're walking on. They're moving
Damn.
on.
Shit.
Remember, AJ can make money. AJ's a
Yeah.
global star. He's not Tyson Fury, dude.
Well, it's not like I don't think AJ necessarily. I'm sorry, Tyson Fury. I don't think Fury necessarily needs the money either. I know he can't generate it the same way that Anthony Joshua can because of what happened with him and Jake Paul. But I don't think that even Tyson Fury himself is in need by any stretch to be able to, bend backwards and say, okay, let's just go ahead and I'll concede. Let's go ahead and have the fight over there. I don't think he needs the money either. Would he like another paycheck? Of course he would, but I don't think he needs it either.
He's closer to retirement though than I think AJ is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Mike Coppinger recently, and I forget the name of the show, Ring Insider or Insider Ring or something like that. The Ring magazine show that it's got Max Kellerman on. Recently had Teofimo Lopez on there, but prior to that, basically Mike Coppinger was announcing a couple of fights that are kind of at least in talks or in advance talks. One of which is kind of a funny one because I'm hearing conflicting information on it. Number one, it's that Vergil Ortiz is coming back, of course, and it seems as though he's going to be able to fight before the end of the year. And as I understand it, he's going to be returning as a middleweight, 160 pounds. So he's going to leave 154 pounds behind. Kind of sucks, but it might be better in the long run for him at least. But and according to Mike Coppinger, it looks like they are targeting Jermell Charlo to fight in Texas on November 14th. Now, if you guys recall, literally like the last show or the show before that, Jermell himself, Jermell, is it Jermell? Fucking hell. Am I getting them confused here?
I thought you said Jermell last time.
God damn it. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. Gosh darn it. I get them confused all the damn time, but I could have sworn I heard that we'll say the 154-pound Charlo is going to be fighting Tim Tszyu because he says that he was told by Al Heyman. Clearly, this can't be the other Charlo because the other Charlo has moved up to 168, so there's no way he's coming back down. So this has to be that one, the same one.
Yeah, it's right? Jermell.
Okay, Jermell. Okay, cool. Because I swear I'm getting them confused all the time with the first name. But yeah, that Charlo.
He's the light middleweight one, right?
Yeah,
that's the one you're looking for.
Yeah, right. The one that fought Canelo, right? So it looks like he was told by Al Heyman that he's going to be fighting Tim Tszyu next. All right, well, they were just waiting on the location. Okay, now we're hearing this from Mike Coppinger saying that Ortiz is targeting Charlo. Now, whether or not that means that Charlo is on board at all, I don't know. But according to what I'm seeing here, it looks like this fight seems to be the one that's going to be made. If you look at the post on the what's it called? Yeah, Inside Ring. That's what I think that's what it's called. Vergil Ortiz's manager, Rick Meridian, decided to leave a comment on that specific post. So let me go ahead and read this because it's kind of funny. He says, "The amount of ignorant people on here leaving comments is mind-blowing. Boots turned down Vergil 5 times now, according to him. We waited 5 weeks for him to say yes and fight him in November. Zero money issues or location issues or anything. He turned it down just as he did the last 4 times. His fans have got to be the most brain dead there is. Vergil has tried to fight him. He said he does not want to fight and wants another meaningless." He says, talking about Boots, wants another meaningless Walmart belt for 1/4 of what he could have made against Vergil. Literally, sad how brain dead people are. Just say the truth. Round 3 of the last fight made him change his mind, and that's okay. Just stop lying. So he's again throwing more shade at Boots, saying that no. We tried to make the Boots fight happen, but he turned it down 5 times or whatever and wants to go collect another Walmart belt. So they're moving on and not even staying at 154. They're moving on to 160. And it looks like this Charlo is going to be next. Before we get to the second fight that Coppinger announced is in talks. All right, Andrew, we're hearing back and forth stuff. If you hear Ortiz people say it, we're looking at fights like Charlo and that one specifically for Texas in November. If you ask Charlo says, "Nah, bro, I'm fighting fucking Tim Tszyu. We're just thinking, looking on trying to decide what location to have the fight in." Who do we believe in this case, Andrew? Like, I'm not even sure. Every week it's one or the other. It's like flip flopping.
Well, no, I don't think Al Heyman has ever lied to us, right? Charlo's fighting who Al told him he's fighting, and if that's Tim Tszyu that Al said he's doing, then that's what they're doing. Now, Team Ortiz and Golden Boy, well, hell, they've lied to us a whole bunch of times already, right? These guys, they don't have a good rap sheet right now. So I want to tell you what I think's happening. So right now, Meridian puts out a text about we've waited for Boots for 5 weeks. Even though real diehards know that they were never getting that fight 5 weeks ago. That fight was off the table. They got to renegotiate. Boots is getting more money. Whatchamacallit needs to come off his price. And that belt that he's about to win is only going to secure him more in the division. So that fight was never a go. But they're telling the Ortiz fans, oh, no, we waited 5 weeks. So they're going to run with that. Oh, yeah, our guy waited 5 weeks. So then they say, oh, no, well, we're going to fight Jermell Charlo instead, right? Knowing damn well Jermell Charlo isn't available. He comes out literally, 24 hours later and goes, no, I'm not. My boss already told me who I'm fighting. But what is that, Miguel? From Boots to Charlo, what have we done? We've dropped in competition. The same level guys?
No.
Why you give us two guys that are nowhere near the same level, both a no-go right out the gate? You know what they're setting us up for, right?
No, please let me know.
Oh, man, that'll be some walk-off because, hey, we've tried it with two other guys.
Hold on. You cut off. One more time. What?
It's going to be some third opponent, obscure guy no one knows about. One of their Rocha, some dude off their own stable, okay? Oh, we tried for Boots for 5 weeks. Oh, yeah, man. I've been hearing Meridian's been saying that for a minute, that they were going after Boots. Boots don't want that smoke. These are their Ortiz fan base because that's all they really need to please right now. Remember, you guys, they're taking that fight back to Texas. They're going to do a home fight. They're going to make money off you guys. So he's playing to you guys. But these are two fights that were clearly dead in the water when announced by them. No, they're setting us up for the bullshit.
Weren't they trying to do this with Spence as well? Saying like, no, we can make a Spence fight in Texas, and ultimately Spence, ended up fighting Tim Tszyu. But it was just like one of those things where he was going to eventually fight somebody like that, another, kind of past his prime PBC guy.
Not only that, Oscar doubled down and then came out and said, tried to tell Boots and them that they had another option.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
He beats Tszyu. He's like, what about if we bring Spence back to Texas after beating Tszyu? So stop it with like we were waiting. They would be on to Spence if Spence beat Tszyu. Believe me, Meridian would be all over the Spence Ortiz fight in Texas. Him and Oscar both be creaming their pants over that one. They both wanted that for decades. Yeah. So this is all they're setting us up for. In my opinion, this is what this is right now. With him coming out and going, oh, we waited 5 weeks. No, you didn't. You knew the night that fight took place, Zayas and Boots, that you weren't ever going to get the Boots fight at the same price that you guys walked away from. Get the fuck out of here. Like, who do you think you're talking to, man? You're talking to people that don't know the sport? Oh, wait, you are, because you guys are only hoping to make $1 million. Everyone could be happy, right? I'll buy your little, I don't want to talk shit, but they'll be set. They'll be set. These guys like fighting for, I don't think he's looking for legacy, bro. I'm sorry. I don't think the Ortiz, Meridian, and I think Oscar will play with it because he's making some nickels off of them too, right? When they need to buy them, when they need to sell out, they'll sell out. But as far as right now, ride it till the wheels fall off. And this is the game plan these guys like to keep putting in front of Oscar. He'll keep doing it because he's making some money off of it. But I don't see them in this for legacy anymore. I really don't. How many times can you fucking, just wait? I'm out of here.
So you're leaning towards a possible third opponent. I'm trying to think of who that could potentially be. Some other over the
Alexa
hill.
Rocha.
Well, no, but he's too small. He's too small. 'Cause these guys, remember, these guys are going to middleweight, mind you. I don't know if
Doesn't
they're
matter.
gonna. No, just toss them. Let's bring in who else? Shit. Oh damn it! Somebody else that was coming to mind. Another type of fighter like that.
For Golden Boy, it's got to be someone that's fought for Golden Boy hella times.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, it was the guy that damn it, I'm trying to remember, but I'm sure it'll come back to me later. But yeah, so another somebody who's not as big a name, is not going to be a high profile name, and most likely somebody lower weight class moving up.
Yeah, you know what? They would be smart to go to Al Heyman and get one of his guys. Seriously, even though these dudes haven't fought in for a while, who is that? We'd have to look at the rankings, but they might be smart to go to Al Heyman. They've worked with Al a few times. He has names that are at least somewhat household names in the diehard realm, but isn't as bad as Alex Rocha. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm dead serious. That's where I see them going with this. The drop off on the opponents is so bad. Like, what happened to fucking Lara and Adamas? Why isn't he keeping their names in the fucking picture?
I want to say Coppinger mentioned them, but it was more so like the second option. It was like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and he still wants these guys to want these guys. Like, all right, well, I would love for him to go directly to them. You know, why the fuck do we have to do this Charlo shit? Like, come on now. If you're gonna go up to 160, go directly for the, like you said, right? Adamas in particular, go to him right off the bat. Why not?
The WBO allows it. We've seen fighters use it with the WBO, right? They move right into the division, go for a title shot. So they can miss me with all their bullshit reasons of why they're not doing it. I think I know their true colors. I think their true colors have already been shown. Unfortunately.
One of the other fights that Mike Coppinger has announced, this one not as spectacular, but regardless, pretty solid fight. Arnold Barboza versus Oscar Duarte are in advanced talks. It looks like Duarte is going to be moving up to 147. He was at 140 previously, and it looks like the fight seems to be looking for Los Angeles, specifically LA, to make this fight happen. This is a fun fight. This one will be fun as hell because we know Duarte is the kind of guy that comes forward and throws a lot of punches. Barboza is a pretty solid counter puncher himself, so obviously we kind of see why they're setting this up here. Want to build Barboza's name, but it's somewhat significant because it is going to be at 147 pounds. You know, we're going to have a pretty major fight here in the next few weeks at 147 with Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. We just had one, of course, with Teofimo and ROLLY. So this is just another one of those. For all we know, one of these guys are going to end up being the opponent for one of the other guys. So this is the kind of fight we want to keep our eyes on. They didn't specify any sort of date or anything like that, but apparently it's already in advanced talks. So pretty good chance, a high likelihood that we're going to get it before the end of the year. So, all right, Andrew, Arnold Barboza and Oscar Duarte, not a bad scrap, huh?
Excellent matchup for the fight fans. I think this, like you just called it, a fun fight. As far as moving the needle or getting us new viewers, I don't see that happening. I would rather it on a major pay-per-view card. Is that fucked up to say?
So not as a standalone like main event, but rather
I don't think it gets
a main event.
I think it would do them better to be as a solid co-main event or just on the undercard where people are like, dude, this card is fire. We have Duarte Barboza on the undercard of this is the co-main event and this is the main event. And I'm not saying that fight isn't a co-main event because it is. I just think it does both of them better if they were to get on, say, a Canelo fight card. I know it won't happen. I'm just saying of that magnitude. Maybe Ryan Garcia fight card. Right, Ryan's return to DAZN or something. If they were to put this one on that one, would do way better than them being alone. This is another fucking 20,000 views, dude. Nobody's buying DAZN for this fucking fight. I'll tell you that right now. You know, especially in today's world where if you really wanted to, you could probably find it illegally. That's the biggest problem I think both sports are having. If you really want to watch it, You can.
Right.
And you got to remember, before Miguel, it was you had to buy that bitch, right? There was really no getting around it.
I mean, wasn't there? We always had the illegal black boxes, right? I mean, those were back in the day still a
bro,
thing. I don't know how rampant they are. I mean, compared to legal streaming now, of course. But I mean, I know that was out there because I had one.
Okay, one, you needed a friend that was home to watch the shit because we did not have one in my house. My uncle Terry had one. Rest in peace. He had one that we used to go for all the heavyweight fights, Chavez fights, but they were always gone. They weren't there for Duarte versus Barboza. I can guarantee you my uncle would be like, no. He probably let me in, but you get what I'm saying, bro. For most back in the day, black boxes weren't as accessible as I guess you would say they are today, right? I knew a few people that had them. It wasn't like my whole block was littered with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Because even me trying to remember, I can probably count on one hand how many people I knew that had one of those.
There you go. There you go. So we were forced into calling that cable company and be like, shh, don't tell mom. Yes, we want to fight.
Yeah. It's like press 1 to order, like
you better get paid, Greg. That's my older brother's name.
It's like, we're gonna go fucking mow some lawns and shit. We'll make it happen.
So I don't see this thing bringing in that kind of viewership, dude. And DAZN needs to start before we start just accepting fights. Like, yeah, we need growth in our fucking on the platform, man. Right? So I don't know, dude.
How about if this, and it doesn't specify that it is on there, but could this be one of those, even, I mean, it seems as though they're probably going to, no, it doesn't even mention it at all. It just says in the fall in Los Angeles. Okay, so the fall, right? So this year. How about like on the fight, on the TNT ones, right? Like the ones we saw recently with Roach and Cepeda. This will be a pretty fun fight, even if it is a main event, at least there, right? I mean, on TNT,
I like that. I like that a lot. TNT, you also need to double down on the Mexicans, though. I think we need to bring the Mexicans back, dude. I don't like that we're not have big numbers anymore, right? I don't like the fact that Benavidez Sr. Ramirez didn't do shit. To me, maybe that's when I started going, all right, we got a fucking problem. Because like I thought we were the last ones that were not going to be buying pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that recently too. I was watching another content creator talking about it. Oh, specifically with ROLLY and Teofimo, because a lot of people were saying like, yo, we need a lot of, even Turki saying like, we need a new black heavyweight champion kind of thing, right? And this content creator was like, I'm hearing even the Latinos, it's like, where the fuck did they show up? They didn't show up for even ROLLY or fucking Teofimo, and it's like, oh, yeah, they really aren't. What the shit?
Yeah, I mean, look at how many champions is Puerto Rico sending out right now. I think we could count them on our hands how many they have in the whole sport. And it's really been dying down since Trinidad. I mean, they've come with like one guy. Then we had Cotto, but that was really it, though. You know what I mean? It was just we need to get back. We need to get back, dude. I don't know how, but definitely need more eyeballs. So this fight, if I'm De La Hoya on them, I'm trying to find someone on a co-main event that's also Latin, preferably Mexican, and we push it on TNT and see if we can move the needle with that. Definitely with Mexico and America, what do they say? Have the most world champions out of any other countries. We need to start hitting these fan bases a lot harder. Definitely TNT is that's a good platform, dude. I forgot about the TNT one. DAZN needs to start working that angle. This fight is TNT doable. I will agree to that. Don't put it in a big venue, right? So we look like it's packed. Could pack out the house, keep it in LA, and bring somebody else on the undercard. And I think you have a decent. That's a good TNT night right there.
Yeah. The what is that? The Nokia Theater, the one that's right next to fucking. Is it Staples? Am I getting tripped? Hold on. Let's see here. Los Angeles. There we go. Just to see what the capacity is on that one there, to get a better idea of it. Here we go. Formerly known as geez. They just changed the name. Now it's called the Peacock Theater.
Oh jeez.
I had no idea until I pulled it up. Formerly known as Nokia Theater in LA or Live or Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft Theater. It used to be called that too. So it's got its capacity is 7,100. But that's not too bad. I mean, it's not, maybe I mean, a little smaller than that, but 7,000. Maybe they can do that. It's right next.
Sound
to
like they have male strip shows there.
Right. Yeah. That would certainly be something that they would have at the Peacock Theater, right? That's what it sounds like, at least. Jeez. But yeah, 7,000 people, 7K.
It's $1 million idea for a strip club owner, right? Yeah, buddy.
I don't know if you know this, Andrew, but male strip clubs don't make a lot of money. Just FYI. They make some, but they're not crazy. It's sex. Whenever somebody says, "Yeah, sex sells," women's sex sells. Men, not so much. Women's sex sells. That's how that works. Like, you don't want to see, when, at that MVP card, women hopped on the scale wearing very, revealing bathing suits. So when they jumped on the scale, nobody wants to see guys wearing that shit. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people do, but I'm saying few is my point.
I was like, LA, bro. LA. I don't know, man. Might be some movie stars in that. Maybe they get taxed too much in California, right? We just talked about that. Maybe it's not going to go. But anyway, yes, that would be a pretty decent venue for something like this. Maybe not Staples Center, or actually, I don't even know what the fuck Staples Center is called anymore. But anyway, the one right next to it. That's what I'm saying. That's not a bad venue for it. It is Southern California, Los Angeles. The Kobe Bryant Arena. Right next to the Kobe Bryant Arena?
Yes, that one. Precisely. the number 28 arena, yes.
Yeah.
Or 24. Was it 24? I'm forgetting his number.
24, yes.
All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
Nope. I just went blank on Kobe. I was like, fuck, I hope I got that right.
Yeah, I'm sure. Close enough. We'll call it that. But this one has sort of kind of something to do with the 154-pound weight class, at least not anymore, at least. But Xander Zayas, who was a unified champion at 154, is targeting a return, I believe, early next year. I think they say February. I could be wrong on the date. But anyway, point is, he's coming back at middleweight. Yes. So this one, granted, we want to get what?
It is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Making sure. So Xander Zayas coming back at middleweight now, and this is kind of a funny situation because I know it happens and it has happened before. Sometimes there are guys at one weight class that ultimately don't fight one another, and then they end up eventually moving up to the next weight class, and then maybe they do end up fighting each other then, right? So this is kind of one of those things we just talked about. Vergil Ortiz coming back and moving up to 160. He didn't get a chance to fight Xander. Well, now Xander doesn't have any belts. He is going to move up to 160. And in addition to Carlos Adames and Erislandy Lara, on the co-main event for Teofimo and ROLLY was Yoenli Hernandez, a Cuban Olympian who's also a middleweight. It's like, oh shit, kind of sort of just like that overnight, what people thought the middleweight division being like wide open for anybody to come in and take over. Now we got Vergil, we have, I guess, Charlo, but Tim Tszyu moving up to 160 right after defeating Spence, Zayas, Yoenli Hernandez. Like, holy crap, really fast. Now, mind you, I might be jumping the gun because these guys still have to fight one another, right? That's still the way it's supposed to work. But okay, Andrew, now that the 160-pound weight class seems to be getting some name recognition, boom, we got Xander Zayas making a return also at middleweight. Not bad news, huh?
No, not bad news. Just how long do we have to wait until they all start fighting each other? Because are we talking 2027 or 28?
Oh yeah, that's
definitely not 20.
That's the problem. Yeah,
it's definitely not 26, right? We're already out of this year, so Lara is getting pretty old. If we could get a fucking move on his title, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Be carrying he's gonna be like Mike Tyson in a fucking knee brace by the time we get this title off of him.
He's going to be the oldest champion. Who was it? 46? Was it 46? I'm trying to think. I think it was Bernard, but not because he won it at 46, just because he's held it on. He's held on to the belt since he was 40, and he's had it. It's like, all right, cool. Just no title defense in the next year. As long as I can keep the belt, I'll officially be the oldest champion. Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's the only problem. Even Adames doesn't seem like the youngest cat in out there. So. We definitely need to get these fights here lined up, but yes, I do like the names that have entered the 160. Got that division at least hot on paper again.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more name recognition, kind of sort of what is sort of happening with the cruiserweights, right? With Benavidez moving up and whatnot. So we're kind of sort of in the same spot, but again, it ultimately does depend on them fighting one another because we're seeing it now, right? I mean, how many weight classes are these guys going to go through without fighting one another? We already had the four kings, the new four kings, right? With Ryan and granted, Ryan fought Devin, so that may be the exception, but no Gervonta and Teofimo fighting these guys. They all moved up to 140, and then boom, they're still not fucking fighting each other. Then no to 147, and it's like shit. Now they're all at 147, and are we going to get them to fight another? Who knows if we'll even get that? But I certainly hope this isn't another example of that, of just guys following each other. And I know that Zuffa likes to use this as one of their primary reasons why they're trying to fix the sport, yada yada. But I agree to them to some degree here. These guys are going to move up in weight class, and there's 4 championship belts they can get. They don't have to unify them. They have belts there, and then maybe they'll move on to the next fucking weight class. And it's like, oh shit, here we go again with this bullshit. Everybody wins a belt, and here we are with multiple champions, and ultimately they end up not fighting one another. The point is to fight one another, right? Hopefully, Zayas brings that. You know, he did ultimately unify at 154. Granted, he lost them later, but I hope he brings that attitude up to 160, and we don't have that type of shit where they're just moving up. They all move up together. We're all excited the way we were for the welterweight tournament. Oh shit, we have all these champions now, and then nobody's fighting one another, and here we are in the same boats. But everybody's happy because they got a belt. It's kind of one of those things, but we hope that that's not the case.
Zayas and Ortiz should both most likely be entitled title shots when they enter. Be honest with you, the division doesn't have any real big names in there. Both of those guys attached to Adames and Lara make serious money for those 2 fighters. I don't know why you wouldn't just enter the division looking for a title shot. But they probably won't. But I do think they're ready now. Even Zayas, I mean, he's been a unified champ. He got in with boots. There is no going back. We're not going back to the learning stage of our career, right? It's you learn from here on out, but you're fighting nothing but the top guys, right? That's just how it goes. And seriously, Lara's a top guy in the division. Probably not that big of a contender outside of it. You get what I'm saying? Yes. And the same might be said for Adames. So let's not put too much respect on those matchups if Ortiz or Zayas was to go up there and immediately fight him. That's, in my opinion, that's a natural entering of the division for those 2.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I mean, it's young blood, you know, new young blood into the sport, into the division, I should say, especially with somebody like Zayas. Let's say he goes up in there and immediately was like, no, fuck yeah, I want Lara. I want his fucking belt. A 23, 24-year-old guy against a 40-some-odd-year-old. Yeah, kill that, yeah, that old lion. Take his fucking belt. Be like, all right, here we go. I'm starting the new division here now, and let's do it. And then, you know, Ortiz, I forget how old he is, 29 now. I'm not sure how old he is now, but still, the younger guys, I should say.
You remember class. Charlo, they're still showing the Eric Lubin uppercut knockout?
No, it wasn't Lubin. It was
Jason.
No. What? Oh shit, who was it? No, I know who you're talking about, but it wasn't that. It was J-Rock, that J-Rock guy. I'm trying to remember his name, but his nickname is J-Rock.
J-Rock. All right. The one from Detroit or whatever, he whooped that dude's ass in the bathroom.
Is that?
I think it is. Yeah, he's got a viral video. But either way, Williams.
Is it?
His last name Williams?
Julian? Is it Julian Williams? Is that what it is? But I think that's Miguel. I'm trying to remember. But I know what you're talking about.
Miguel, look it up. You guys probably already know it, but you know the uppercut that I'm talking about.
Yes.
This fucking thing landed like a decade ago. Yeah, that's the highlight they're still showing on him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that. Look, Charlo and them are cool. Their records are cool on paper, but seriously, how relevant really is this dude? So if Ortiz was to come out of the tomorrow and be like, I'm fighting Charlo, don't think, you guys, that I'm jumping out of my fucking seat over here. The dude's been irrelevant for a very long time.
And yes, it was Julian Williams. Yes, precisely.
Julian Williams. All right, so we're a little right.
Well, his nickname is J Rock. I remember they call him J Rock. That's how I remember the nickname. Usually, that's why people have nicknames, right? So it's a little bit easier to remember them by.
All the young diehards that do nothing but breathe boxing, eat boxing. They're all like, these guys are assholes. Fuck you, dude. I used to know everything on their names. Like, fuck you.
I remember it. I remember the nickname. That was easy. But that just goes to show you how. They're still replaying that particular.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, still replaying that same fucking highlight.
It's sort of like when Lopez got on the stage and was like, I'm going to fact check everyone. I beat Lomachenko and no one wanted to fight. It's like, dude, that was fucking a decade ago. Can we get over that win already? You really never seen guy. When did Leonard ever get on the podium and be like, you remember when I did this 10 years ago? Like, what the fuck, man? Do you have something new?
Yeah.
Have we done anything lately? The fuck? I thought this sport was about what you did in your last fight, not 10 fights ago.
Remember, I knocked the fuck out of Richard Comey. Like, yeah, that was like 2019, dude. Like, oh yeah, one of those kind of things.
No, he said it like we were supposed to be like, oh yeah, dude, forgot about that Lomachenko win.
Yeah,
dude's hard as fuck.
Right, because his face compared to your face at the end of that fight. And just to go back on Teofimo real quick, his face, dude, is like the new Gabe Rosado, dude. Like, this fucker will get cut open, walk into the ring at this point, man. It's just like anything. That punch was hard that Rolly landed on. I'm not saying it wasn't, but boy, I don't know against and I know I don't want to go back to that, but I don't know how many people in the welterweight division he can fucking hang with, considering how much scar tissue he has there and whether or not his face can hold up against the heavier hitters at 147.
What? You mean he doesn't go 12 rounds with Felix Trinidad?
Right.
Eesh, not even a fight. I got to give that to Steve Kim. Wouldn't even have been a fight.
All right. Anything you want to add to this Zayas moving up to middleweight before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. This next one was kind of funny. It was a bit of a joke that I wanted to throw at Andrew, but apparently Jose Benavidez Sr. Sending texts to one Turki Al-Sheikh asking to make a fight for Cinco de Mayo. Now you're probably saying like, all right, well, who does he have in mind? How about Alexander Usyk? Yes, there is a screenshot of what appears to be at least his text message conversation with Turki. He goes, this was going back to like May, it seems. Yes, May of this year, after his victory, David Benavidez's victory over Zurdo Ramirez. It says, hello, Your Excellency. Do you not even like I have an idea, let's do it. He just says, do you want to make a fight with Alexander Usyk and David Benavidez? Please call me. Gives him his number. Jose Benavidez, thank you. After that, nothing. May 24th, it says, hello, Your Excellency. Let's make a fight. Good day. Then afterwards, it looks like it might be the same one. He says, let's make the fight Cinco de Mayo. Jayo Pitaya, Benavidez. Okay, so it throws their name in there. All right, cool. It looks like finally Turki responds. He says, I will see you, brother. Whatever the shit.
Damn.
I don't know. It's almost like a guy is just texting some chick on Instagram. It's like, hey girl, let's talk. And it's just he's basically having a conversation with himself, pretty much. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's like, hey girl, I'm in your town, and she's like, oh great, have fun. But
that sounded like it said maybe one day.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. Like, bro, get a fucking clue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You send 4 or 5 messages and you get back, I'll see you. What do you think he's saying there?
But really, Alexander Usyk, really? I mean,
no, I think he was drinking. I hate to be a jerk, but those sound like drunk texts to me, dude.
Hey, Turki, you up? One of those. Like, how about a fight, after these 7 fucking tecates that I just killed? How about a fight with Alexander Usyk? Why not,
If I was Turki, I would have called him just to confirm that he was drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I knew it. Talk to you later, brother.
It's like, Jose, I can smell beer through phone. One of those kind of things. Geez, I don't know. That was weird as hell.
It is. I mean,
boom,
come
boom,
on,
boom.
dude. Bro, have a little not respect. What's the word, man? Like,
integrity.
yes, David's bigger than that, right? Just
Yeah.
throwing around names like, oh, just will you do something for us? Like, I don't want to say you're the crackhead on Menace to Society, but you're very close to it. You know what I mean?
Cheeseburgers, come on, cheeseburgers. Why not?
I'm just saying, bro. If I was Turkey, I'd test the waters, be like, I knew you were desperate. Get away from me.
Right.
P. Diddy would. Poor
Yeah.
man. Don't go P. Diddy with those kind of tweets, boy. You get asked to come up.
Right, exactly. You'll get that card pulled real fast.
Yeah, Family Matters guy. What the fuck was that all about? He said because I just wanted to see if he would do it. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, Miguel. He might not get out of prison. You hear what happened to him?
To
P. Diddy.
Oh no, whatever now.
So in the Tupac Shakur murder case that's happening in Las Vegas, you should know this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. I guess they just.
I will see you, brother. I will see you, brother.
Oh, that's a good one.
There you go. Why not?
They finally, I guess, announced, or not announced, but they said in court, so it's under oath, that they have evidence that P. Diddy was supposed to pay off for that murder trial, for that murder. Right?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
what he was supposed to? Like, ultimately, it wasn't him? Or
ultimately, he didn't do it. Look, what I believe happened, and, I'm just out here throwing shit at the wall, is that P. Diddy was fucking bragging or doing something at a party probably. Someone caught wind and was like, hey, dude, he put a bounty out on him. The Crips are like, cool, we'll cash that in. Bop. Right? Called P. Diddy and was like, hey, we did that for you. P. Diddy's like, motherfucker, just hung up. Was like, oh shit, what just happened? Right? They kind of try to blackmail sort of, really. Like, nah, motherfucker, we know you said it, right? Now you're gonna pay. Maybe there was a partial payment done, maybe not. But if they have proof that there was, he's gone, bro. He ain't never getting out. He's gonna catch a case after that case.
Yeah.
And this guy that's supposedly Chief Thief, I don't know what the fuck his name is, some old ass fucking gangbanger from LA. This dude thought he wasn't gonna get in trouble. That's why I guess he started bragging. What's the word? Oh, darn it. Of course. Live on the air. Are you really?
Incriminating himself.
Yeah, but there's a word when you're not going to get charged. When you're not going to get charged.
For immunity. Immunity?
Immunity, yes. In California.
Oh.
Yeah. But when you go on the radio and you talk about a murder that happened in another state, you see where this is headed?
In the same country.
He was like, what are you guys talking for? Shit, man. They're like, Nevada, dumbass. Oh, where is my button?
Oh, yeah.
So
keep going. Let me find it.
So that's how I guess he got popped. And now he's in there singing like a canary, and P. Diddy's name has been brought up. So
let me try this.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I got that on there. Amongst
and
the
then,
others, that's the one. Yeah.
We have a new dumbass. I got another one for you real fast. I sent it to you earlier.
Oh, you texted me? Oh.
San Francisco 49ers owner.
Oh, yes, that's right. The paid for a professional lady of the evening.
See, I don't believe it though.
Oh no?
No. I think he smokes crack.
Oh geez, is that worse?
Honestly, I think in the eyes of the NFL, yes. I think if they found out you're back there buying fentanyl or cocaine or anything, your ass is
itself.
Your ass is going to not prison. Your ass is going to AA. It's probably got to give up something. You get a hooker. Oh man, they dealt with the hooker thing hella times. Right? The owners get involved with hooker all day. They're like, man, is there any way we can make this a hooker situation? The cops are like, yes, we could do that for you, Mr. York. No problem, Mr. York. There's a lot of hookers in this trailer park.
let me get this template that I have from like the gazillion other NFL players.
So what you're saying is luxury suite for 10 years.
Right.
Hooker it is. Come
Right.
on, a hooker, you guys, in a trailer park. That's where an NFL owner is pulling up to. Do you know how many bad things happen at trailer parks, bro? It's
lot,
not
I reckon.
it's not a safe spot at all.
Right.
Right? This thing is being watched by the criminals and by the feds. Both people are watching this property. You just roll up there in what? Your $100,000 car? Do you think he was smart enough to at least have a rent-a-car when he did these kind of things?
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
Especially if he is smoking crack. Dude, right at this point, his brain is not, he's not making sense. He's like, no, fuck this. It's too much work for me to go rent the damn car. Like, no. Let's just go ahead and,
He's worth, they said, like $3 billion, something like that. You're at a trailer park to get a piece of ass? No. You do something lower.
Is he married? Do you know if he's married?
Oh yeah, he's definitely. She owns the Niners today. Yeah. No, don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's divorced.
I see.
Could you imagine your husband sleeping with trailer park girls? He's been bringing that filthy thing home. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're out tonight, dog. Tonight she's gone.
Yep. You're not coming back. You're not coming back.
I would never want that thing again, bro. If that's the kind. If you're paying $100 to hit something, you're worth $8 billion. Because I think that's what his stadium's worth. Crazy, bro. Crazy. So yeah, the Niners got big changes coming. But no, Jed York's a crack user. He wasn't there for sex. He was there for crack. Get the word out, everyone.
Way to go. Let's just completely change the narrative. It's like they'll tell you that. Don't listen to the mainstream media, guys. Believe it or not, Home Dude was there to buy some rocks.
He's buying some fentanyl, cocaine with fentanyl, baby. Let's party.
He's buying some shit that's got laced with other stuff.
I don't believe it, Miguel. I don't believe he was there for a piece of ass. Not at $8 billion.
Do you believe that Jose Sr. was under the influence as well when he was sending those texts? Was he into something similar?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. He went from Usyk to Opatai to just throw me something. Just throw me a fucking bone. I don't know what was going on in his head when he sent that text over about Usyk, though. That's a stupid fight. It's a stupid path for. I mean, do we really want to see David Benavidez any fucking fatter? Like, let's put him in the ring with fucking Andy Ruiz already. Let's see how that one looks.
We've seen a video of him recently that a lot of the comments on there show some concern over his weight too. Yeah.
Totally looked over. Dude, that was a bad
he was
video.
wearing a loose-ass shirt, loose-ass shorts. I don't think that's how he naturally dresses, but, I mean, maybe he's, like, having some issues. We know he's having some issues outside of the ring, right? It's his phone being taken away, and it's not him sending the messages and everything like that. I followed him on social media. It looks like the majority of his pictures, if not all of them, have been completely deleted from there. So, his mother's saying that he doesn't have control of his own phone and his Instagram account specifically. So, understandably, he's got some shit going on outside of the ring, and maybe, he gorged himself with fucking food, right? But you post a video like that, dressed like fucking Adam Sandler, and you're over here fucking swinging at the damn bag, looking heavy as hell. Do you think we'll ever see him again at 175? I don't know.
Hell no. No. His dad is already saying heavyweight.
Yeah.
There's a reason. And add on that list, his wife is already dating the drummer from the choir at the local church.
Jeez.
That's what kicked off the eating also. Because she's prayed for him, Miguel.
Yes. She's gone over his house. She's gone over the choir's drum boy's house to pray every day religiously, right? Because that's
Sure, don't fucking go and drive 100 miles an hour because I said it. I'm just talking out my ass.
And it's like, let's look at this guy. What church does he go to? Who is this guy?
The drummer's all hot.
Yeah, I know exactly. What complete coincidence? Home Dude's got like abs, and he's like a 180-pound model.
Shit.
Yeah, he's like over here shirtless in the fucking band choir, like fucking Dave Grohl and shit over here.
Pointing at her while he's playing. David's like, why is he pointing at you? It just looks like
he's like, spinning the fucking drumstick and then like throws it at her. Like she's like, oh, look at this. Like, how do you know you were gonna be here? Kind of weird.
We kid.
Yes, it's all.
I know it's your personal life. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, but anyway, home dude looked bigger. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, you can understand why Jose Benavidez is like, yeah, I don't want my son to drop back down. Let's just fucking stay a heavyweight and figure this out with maybe get a nice big payday with Alexander Usyk. But once that didn't happen and no response from that, he's like, all right, we'll go back down to 200. How about that?
Opatai,
Yeah.
He's like, how about we sign with Zuffa and we'll take a loss to Opatai? Can we get the fight?
Right. But anyway, and anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next topic? Because our show's going pretty long right now, so we're gonna try to get.
No, sir.
There.
I know my wife's been saying that. No, sir.
All right. So this next one. Jeez. All right. Two topics here, but we'll go through them real quick. Amanda Serrano fought last Friday against one Argentine, however you pronounce that word, Lucrecia Manzor, winning a majority decision. Yes, one judge actually had it a draw. The other two had it for Serrano. She didn't look great in the fight. She took a lot of shots. It was very similar to some of her previous fights where she gets cut. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if there was a cut or a headbutt on there, but her face looked bad. And her opponents didn't look nearly as bad. And Amanda was fighting for history, basically. Number one, it was her 50th victory, which she ultimately did get. Had she won by knockout, she would have had the record for the most knockout on a women's female or women's boxing record. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. They ended up going the decision. And on top of that, this fight was the first championship fight on TikTok, which is kind of a big deal. I know the overwhelming majority of TikTok users are women, so you would think that this is why they went that direction. Specifically, Jake Paul, this is MVP boxing event. Dude knows what he's doing clearly, right? He's like, oh shit, there's a lot of women who have TikTok. Let's just go ahead and put it on there. So before we get to that part, Andrew, I don't know if you saw highlights of it, but she ended up coming away with the majority decision victory, which is the same one as Teofimo and ROLLY. But if you saw highlights of it, you saw her face. She went through it. She got the victory, but man, that was not easy.
It wasn't, but it was an excellent fight. And it was a fight that I did see her come back and win on. Adjusted. Look, she adjusted like an old champ does when they're fighting a showcase fight and they're having trouble. Right? They just they have a few more tools in their bag than their opponent, and they bring them out. That's all that happened there. It was a very close fight. Look, Serrano's really never been, at least later, as of late, she hasn't been too much of a defensive wizard in there. Right? Remember the Katie Taylor fights? Right? She was getting hit a lot, touched up a lot, lost. So I wasn't really surprised about how much she was touched. The end is near. We're talking about a 6th division champ. We're talking she's 37 years old. That's a lot of training. That's a lot of weight. So her time is near where she's going to be stepping away. She knows it. So her fire probably isn't even burning as hot right now, right? Because she keeps talking retirement. What do they always tell us? When you have one foot out the door, you might as well leave because you're not coming back, right? You're just waiting for someone to push you out the motherfucker. And maybe that's what Serrano's ultimately waiting for, because she does keep taking these fights. It almost happened, but I don't think it did. I thought at the very end Serrano pulled it out. And to be honest with you, I was cheering. I was totally into the fight. It was a pretty good fight. So I was happy with her victory, but I do realize that the time is near for her. I would rather her just walk away. I know I'm hoping she's not waiting for one more big payday. They all have that itch. Clarissa seems to always be nagging. I don't know if she's trying to see if there's a way they can meet somewhere. I hope not. Let's just, do one fight. Do one fight in Puerto Rico. I was going to say rematch, but why even risk it? Like I say, we're looking for a go-away fight, right? Yeah. Maybe do one in Puerto Rico, do one here in America somewhere where highly populated with Puerto Ricans, and call it a career, man. 6th division champ. She's made a lot of money. Most viewed. I'm not gonna even go through her list. Go to the MVP website. They got a bunch of fucking stats on her. That she's the most of everything when it comes to women boxing. So no, it was a very good fight though. I was happy with it.
a very tough and rugged opponent because she was not going to go down. I swore for the life of me, Serrano could not stop that left hand of her opponent. Mansour is her last name. Dude, every jab, every slight hook, any kind of like hook jab, they were just landing and landing and landing. And granted, maybe they weren't hurting her as much. I think eventually she did get cut. I forget which side, but it was a point where I'm like, dude, she's getting rocked. Like she's starting to look a little wobbly. So as you said, she was able to make the adjustments and ultimately pulled it off in the end there. But and it was still history because she still got her 50th victory. Maybe she will have one more. I mean, it sounds like you said that she's kind of waiting for one more major payday, a 51st victory. And then of course that knockout record that she's I think I want to say it's Christy Martin, who I think has the record for the most knockouts in women's boxing history. So she's trying to chase that as well, or she is chasing that as well. This fight was also the first championship fight on TikTok, which is kind of a big deal. I wanted to see if there was any data on it, anything has been collected on it recently. I was able to pull it up. And I was able to find it. From what I can tell here, it looks like 3.4 million is who tuned in for this one. This is what I was able to find on Cord Cutter News. TikTok's first live boxing event draws 3.4 million as sports becomes a bigger focus. There's a quick paragraph here. TikTok is cementing itself as the go-to social media platform for sports fans after its first championship boxing event pulled 3.4 million viewers, according to BBC Sports. Amanda Serrano's WBA and WBO featherweight title defense against Lucretia Mansour on August 21st became the first world title fight streamed live on TikTok. Serrano won by majority decision to record her 50th career victory, although she fell short of the knockout that she needed to break the women's record. Okay, Andrew. Like I said, TikTok seems to be, one of the things that a lot of women tend to have, and this is, of course, a women's championship fight here, boxing championship fight. 3.4 million. Under normal circumstances, that sounds like a pretty good number. Considering it is social media, it is free, it is on a platform like this. Did this fall short of maybe expectations, or do you think this is a solid number?
I believe it's a solid number. I know you're going to say I'm a fanboy of boxing, but I don't care, Miguel.
Well, for being TikTok, for how many people have TikTok, I thought maybe this was short.
Oh, wait a minute now. Mm-hmm. There's only one person with the name on that card. She brought 3.4 million.
Okay.
So that's a decent number for her. You know what I mean? I don't know. That girl was from out of the country, Argentina, and she had like 4 or 5 losses, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah. I forgot what a record is.
I wasn't impressed with the record at all when I seen it, Miguel. And that's why we know that the end is near, because she shouldn't have been in the ballpark, but she was. So 3.4 million, I got to say, is a solid number. If you were to put her in with another star, say another Katie Taylor, if the Katie Taylor match was on TikTok, then what kind of numbers are we doing, right? Because now you have 2 women that can both bring in millions of viewers. So let's hold off on the TikTok if it was success or not until we see an actual fight with 2 big names. But for Amanda to bring 3.4 million basically by herself, I think is another plaque that's going to go on her wall one day. The most viewed woman of all time, just for that show right there. I can't think of another fight that didn't have Amanda Serrano's name attached to it that brought in 3 million viewers. And I'm talking about women's boxing here. Sure. I don't even think it ever came close. So she did fine. Her career, that it kind of legitimized her career. And to be honest with you, I was watching the numbers the whole night. I had my wife. I don't have TikTok, but as you say, all women do. My wife does.
Yes, so many do.
I was watching it on my TV. I ordered TikTok,
right.
And
and totally believable.
Totally believable. And she was like just watching. I was giving TikTok my views through my wife's phone, and it was like at 600,000 for a long time. And I was like, ugh, this is ugly. And then like right when the main event came on, it got to 1 million. I was like, all right, we got 1 million now. We're getting there. And then when that 3 million, when we hit 3 million, I was like, oh, damn, Amanda fucking moved the needle. Because it was like when her fight started, bro. That her fans are like, "Oh, Amanda's on."
Yeah.
So that was cool because every time you like refresh the page, it will show you the number that's watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes away, so you have to refresh and it shows it again. So I watched it the whole time. 600,000, 1 million, bam, 3.4 or 3.1, I think is where I maxed out at with her. But as soon as I seen the 3 million, I was like, she did, in my opinion, she did fine.
That's a very good point because that's the more recognizable name, right? And really nobody else necessarily on the card. Although a lot of hungry up and coming women because there were some pretty exciting fights there. One I believe was an upset, as a matter of fact, the undefeated.
Ooh, big upset.
Yeah. But the next paragraph kind of sort of says what you're talking about. The 3.4 million views are notable because TikTok is trying something different from the traditional sports streaming playbook. Rather than putting a major event behind a subscription or pay-per-view fee, the fight was delivered through TikTok Live, putting a championship boxing event directly on an app, inside an app already used by hundreds of millions of people. So the fact that it's free and, the overwhelming majority of users are going to be women, the fact that she was the primary name on that card, this basically was her pulling this amount, which is pretty significant. That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. I just figured TikTok, women's boxing, they would tune in, but realistically, it still needs star power. And in this case, it was Amanda Serrano specifically.
To put this a little in perspective, the WNBA averages 740,000 views. They've got as high as 1.4 million. That's kind of crazy, dude. She did 3 point something, So Amanda could tell the whole WNBA to shut the fuck up, like everyone else is right now.
Geez. Yes. We all want to tell them that at this point, quite frankly. So I wanted to throw in a little bit of a curveball on that one. I don't remember seeing Jake Paul there. I know we kind of like loosely joked about him being kind of infatuated with Amanda Serrano. After all, he did go and like buy a property or lives in Puerto Rico and all this shit, right? So that we kind of joked about that. Obviously, we weren't serious about it, but considering this is an MVP card, this is a pretty big deal on TikTok with Amanda Serrano headlining. Where the hell was he? Now, if you guys saw him, or any of our listeners, by all means, let us know because I watched the card. I don't remember seeing him ringside. I would have to have, for his MVP MMA card on Netflix with Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey, he was ringside or cage side, I guess. He literally had his own little, booth next to the cage. So clearly he was there, right? And we assume that generally is how it is. Nikisa Badarian was there, the CEO or his right-hand man. So he was there, if I'm not mistaken. He was definitely at the weigh-ins. I remember seeing that. But no Jake Paul. That seemed a little strange. I don't know what could be going on there, but I would have figured for something this historic and monumental that he would be here. Andrew, you mentioned that you were looking out for him and you didn't see him either, right?
I did not see him, and I did confirm that he was not there. It is online that he was not there. And I think you hit it on the head. Before I get the reason why he wasn't there, the top draw for the WNBA was 2.6 million. It was the Aces versus Indiana. I think that's the girl with Catalin Clark. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know. I know her last name is Clark. Yeah. I forgot the first name, but the last name is Clark. Yes.
All right, the one that's doing real good.
Right.
Stephanie Cunningham, is that her friend's name on the team? Yeah, she's bad too. Yeah, I like that one too. I think that's her name. But hey, 2.6 million watch, so even Serrano's doing better than their finals, right? And that says top draw. So she did fine. Now, you hit it on the head why motherfucking Jake Paul wasn't there, bro. His girlfriend was like, nah, motherfucker. You're too closey with that Puerto Rican. No, just kidding. I don't get all racist, but he's like,
you want a brown girl now? One day, Monday you want a nice blonde, and no, you want Pocahontas over there. Shit.
Just playing.
Like, you want that personality? Because I got 30 of them. I can throw you all of them. You know what I'm saying? If you want that Latina, you know. And it's kind of funny because what's her name? Serrano. They were in San Diego or Temecula, California, which is Southern California, near San Diego, and there is a very popular, big name Indian reservation. There, the Pachanga Reservation. There's the ones they have a casino there. There's, as a matter of fact, I've been there myself several times. But there's where they had it. So Amanda Serrano kind of came out with some sort of, you know, native type of gear, ring gear, and everything like that. So I just throw that in there because maybe you know, Jake Paul's girlfriend is like, oh, you want Pocahontas now, motherfucker? Something like you want? Then no, fuck that shit. Your ass staying home, motherfucker.
Staying home tonight. That's right. But you know, that's one thing I didn't understand. Why was this fight in Southern California? And it's one of her last fights of her career. I thought look, and this is what I wanted to bring up about that whole TikTok influence that I don't think is really doing us any justice. He had, like, I want to say they kept saying 3 or 4 of the biggest girl TikTokers in the world for this whole fight week. We get 3 million views. You know what I mean? These girls probably do 20 million views a month, easy. So is the payoff happening with how much he probably had to pay them to be there? Right?
Yeah.
So I believe we had it better when we used the media and when we used radio. I know
actual media, not social media.
Not social media, yeah. Actual media members are. It's just a different time. I'm not behind the scenes to know what's moving the needle or not. They might go, Andrew, no one's read a fucking story in 10 years. Shut up about that. And be like, oh, okay, my bad.
Well, but we're seeing the effects of it regardless.
I'm seeing that social media doesn't seem to be doing us any help here. The young generation, I think they're interested. I just don't think they're into paying for it, the prices that we demand. I think they got tired of paying for the UFC. Right? At some point, the UFC views went from pay-per-view to illegal streaming, and they stayed on illegal streaming. Because the shit doesn't make sense how a company can act like it's so big, yet only have, what did they have, 2 million views, 5 million views? Like, the fuck? That Paramount has 20 million subscribers. How did you guys only pull in this many views if you really do run the whole thing? So, I mean, Amanda Serrano has done better than most of the UFC things on Paramount. And I'm talking about her 40 million views with Katie Taylor on net, but it doesn't matter. I'm just saying her in general. How is she pulling in more numbers than the biggest MMA business on the planet? So there's always that side. But we will see how this goes. That was the first time that I thought Jake Paul had done something wrong. Is bringing in. I thought he wasted a little bit of money, and he wasted one of Amanda's last fights in a place where she shouldn't have been. So maybe take those TikTokers to Puerto Rico. I don't know, put on something big that they could do content there the whole week. Maybe promote the island, promote the fight. Do something better than LA. Like, what the fuck are you gonna give us different in LA? Everyone knows LA. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, San Diego more so, but
or San Diego, fucking Southern California. Everyone knows that area. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like he put it on over there just to get closer to the social media side. Instead of saying,
could be.
Yeah, instead of saying we have a fight over here, I'll fly you guys out over here. They're probably like, we want $1 million. Did you see? That's what they were all saying when he was saying, do you guys want to fight? All the girls were like, oh, if you gave me $1 million.
Oh, good Lord, no. You're talking about like influencer boxing, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. And, jeez. Jake Paul can't hit it out the park every single time, He's going to swing and miss a few times, and he's going to be out of bed. He won't even make it to base. Well, the verdict is still out on this, right? Because we'll have to see how this ultimately unfolds furthermore. Because again, Serrano is out the door, right? She's on the way out. So if she pulled this amount, maybe, I'm trying to think of other, like the MVPW, the Michaela Mayers and whatnot. I know there's going to be one of those cards with that Cameron something or other. I forget her name, but Michaela Mayers going to be fighting real soon. Yeah, and I know. I don't know if it's going to be on TikTok or it's going to be on one of another streaming service. ESPN Plus maybe is sort of where I think he has the majority of them. But I don't know who else will be able to bring in a number like that. And
Alicia,
she's not going to be here.
I think Alicia is.
Yeah, Baumgartner. Yeah.
Yes, I believe she has the attention of both sides of the aisle. So right now, she has the girls behind her because she's badass. She holds herself as a badass woman, and she fights as a badass woman. So I think the women are interested in her as a role model, and then the guys are obviously in, right? So I think if they were to put her on TikTok, I think she does good numbers. I don't know if she's going to make 3.1 million in her first try, but I see her with the potential of getting as hot as Amanda Serrano. And I don't mean literally. She's already there. I'm talking about
yes,
in her career. Yes, exactly, in her career. She's like, what the fuck he say?
Right. Shake her ass the way like no, that's not what I said. I said popular wise, you know, people want to tune in to watch her. Like, oh, really? Tune in to watch her what? Watch her box. Jeez. All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the last topic here? Before we call it a show.
No, let's go. Last topic. Gotta get out of here.
Last one. All right.
My bad.
So, no problem. I mean that Teofimo ROLLY. We needed to talk about that. So we, as always, we like to listen to our subscribers and people who like to comment. We wanted to bring this up just because, you know, we appreciate you guys' number one fact checking us, you know, on top of that, but also we enjoy hearing from you guys. One of our recent subscribers posted a comment on our last video or the video before that in regards to Noah Mikhailian, specifically a couple of points he wanted to bring up because popular person we know, the kind of guy we talked about him, and in particular, Andrew mentioned. Basically, this comment is saying, yo, you know, Mikhailian, number one, at his age, he still got, you know, doesn't have a lot of miles on the odometer. Talking about that, and specifically, right? So he's a fresh 35-year-old. He says never taken really big punishment, and for cruiserweights, really 35 isn't really considered that old. So I wanted to bring a couple of points right to our eyes, right, so we can kind of put a little more respect behind at least Noah Mikhailian. But we enjoy hearing from you guys, and this was specifically talking about what Andrew was referring to with Mikhailian in particular. But we wanted to bring it up because thank you guys. Thank you. We always like interacting with you guys, and we appreciate when you guys have your point of view and you wanted to let us have it on top of facts checking. But Andrew, go ahead and talk about this here real quick. Basically, the dude was saying, yo, bro, put a little bit more respect over Mikhailian's name because, you know, granted, he might be a little unknown, but as a 35-year-old, he's still a fresh 35-year-old.
Well, it's easy to say it. Now we have to see him do it against Opatai, correct?
Correct.
So he has a shot to make his youthful 35 years of age stand out, which I don't think happens in the cruiserweight division. I don't think Father Time stops at the cruiserweight division. So 35 is still old. I'm sorry to say that. For in a boxing age, 35 still old. And but he's gonna get his time under the sun with Opatai to show us who he is. So, but no, we will see. As you said, the following week, I followed up with, I don't care if it's the champ or the interim, doesn't really matter. So sorry about that one too, dude. Probably didn't like hearing that one either, but he will have his moment against Opatai to prove me wrong. Prove me that he's a young 35 and the new face of the cruiserweight division.
All right. All right. So again, we appreciate it. Should we say who this is, Andrew? Like, are we allowed to say that? Okay, cool. Care. Why not? You know, well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if there's a way we can. I'm not trying to single you out, but we appreciate you guys talking to us.
Yeah, no doubt.
At Combat Sports Media 5686. We always like hearing from you guys. So shout out to our listener. We always appreciate it. And anytime you guys have anything to say to us, even if it's a disagreement or a fact check or anything like that, we like hearing from you because engagement is a big deal with YouTube. And anytime you do engage with us, it does help with the algorithm and basically push out our videos. So thank you for that, as we always do.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Anything else we want to add to this before we call it a show?
Nope. I'm holding everything for Wednesday, bro.
Good. Oh, there's more shit? No. But yes, we will be talking about it Wednesday. Moses Aitama fighting on Saturday against Herv. I forget his name, but gentleman is going to be fighting his opponent. We'll get the names, of course, because the foreign names. Sorry, we're just not that very good at them. But regardless, we're going to be talking about that, and it will be back to our regular scheduled program on Wednesday. So that's going to do it for us here today before, we got to go to bed because we got to go tomorrow. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapichet, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us once more. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Peace.